Oh, it shows. Okay, yeah. All right, cool.
Nobody's in yet. We're live. Yeah. Well, YouTube, we're back again with Maestro. Nobody's here yet. I'm just doing my introduction.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Part
cool.
two of the drama. Hmm. Let's wait for some people to come in here. Let's get one person. Even if they don't say anything in the chat, it will show that they're present.
Yeah.
It's just crazy this is still going on. Well, let's go ahead. That way, when people look at it later, they can listen to what's going on. So today, Krista went live again with Sasha. And of course, in that video, they were constantly going on about your age. He's 50. I don't want to be with a 50-year-old man. Blah, blah, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So, can you tell us when she would notice that you're 50?
The very moment that she saw my message in the dating site that we met on, because it says it right there. It says your username, your age, and the city you're from. There's no way to avoid that. Absolutely no way.
So she knew from the get go that you were 50 years old.
Unless she didn't pay attention to it or can't read, yeah, she should have known. Because even in the message, when you send a message, it'll show the person's name and age. And I mean, I would love to show screen grabs, but I want to, there's I don't I don't want to delve deep into putting so much privacy out there. I think people know enough already. But let's just say it's an actual site. It's not an app, and they don't fuck around. So it's not one of those things where, like on some dating sites or some dating apps, rather, you can hide your age. You can't do that on this site. This site does not allow you to do that. And the
Mhm.
sites, like I said, I've been on this site for at least 10 years. And when I've been in relationships, I delete, deactivate, because I have a lifetime membership. I paid a one-time fee and I have a lifetime membership on it because they were just starting, so they were offering a special $75 lifetime fee. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that instead of 19.95 per month. So now I got it for life. So
Right.
anytime I want to deactivate it and reactivate it, I can. And every year, of course, you have a birthday, it will change your age accordingly, and you cannot do anything about it. So there's no way she didn't see my age right there under my picture and my city.
So, as far as her not wanting to deal with a 50-year-old man, she knew from the jump that she was.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And she could have, because there have been times where I've sent a flirt or a message to someone, and if for any reason, and here's another thing too, in the profiles, it'll show like so before the bio part of the profile, it's kind of like a basic information. So it says the person's username, their age, where they're from. Let me just go look at a random one just to tell you what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
So okay, yeah. So it'll say ethnicity. My ethnicity is black mixed. That's what I'm looking at right now. It'll say their height, single, looking for long-term dating, and then it shows here looking for a man. Like for example, this woman is 24 years old. The one I just randomly clicked on anybody. Not my type, but 24 years old, and it says woman age 24 in whatever city state looking for a man aged 35 to 69.
Wow.
So Sasha's, I think one of them, because like I told, she had two.
Hmm.
Um, she had one in one state and one in another, and I believe one of them said uh, up to 40. I think it was. I don't remember what the minimum, but I think the maximum was 40, and the other one was 18 to 99 or some shit like that. And a lot of women do that. I've noticed that a lot on here. Um, it's an interracial dating site. Swirl for some people, Afro Romance for others. A lot of women just put a wide open age range. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe one of the two of those profiles of hers had a wide open age range, while the other one might have had a range up to 40.
Okay.
But I took a chance. I took a chance because sometimes people might put an age range, but depending on whether they find you attractive or whatever, or they like what you said in your bio, they might be like, well, let me bend the rules a little bit. Let me talk to this person. It's
That's
happened to
right.
me. I told you my age range preferably is 21 to 27, but there might be a
Welcome.
29-year-old that catches
Welcome,
my eye.
viewers.
Yeah. There might be a 29-year-old that catches my eye, not only physically, but also in the bio. I am a bio reader. And this is why I'm so I usually always do read bios, but it was the third day, or it was somewhere in the first week of her and I talking, that I went back to her bio on the one that she had that didn't get deleted by the
Mm-hmm.
site administrator. And that's when I read all the way through it, because it was probably a nice, good, chunky paragraph. Like I said, I read the top part with the singing music, dancing, and podcast. And when I saw the word podcast, I was like, oh, cool. Because sometimes when I mention podcasts to the women I've talked to, they don't even know what I'm talking about, or they say, no, I don't watch podcasts or anything like that. So that caught my attention. So, like I said, in the very first week that we were talking, I had told her, you know what? I went back to your profile and I read it, and you're waiting till marriage. And I did not know from the jump that even said that in there. I had to go back and read it, because there's two
Hi,
sections.
Caitlin.
Huh? Oh, you're
Okay,
saying hi to people. Okay. There's two sections. There's a bio that's about me, and then there's a bio about the person I want to date. So there's two sections to it. And that's why sometimes if you I happen to type a lot. I have a very long bio, and I know that some people have the attention span of a fucking goldfish and probably read the first line and then just fucking whatever. They either accept or deny my flirt. So I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes, TLDR, too long didn't read. But I went back and I read it, and I had no idea for the first few days that I was talking to her that she was this pure woman. And I wasn't bothered by it either way. So they have to, Crystal has to lay off this, because she's a virgin, because she's a virgin. I didn't know that at first.
Kay
I
Elaine
didn't know
says,
that
what dating
until
site?
until a few days into us talking, because I didn't read the whole fucking profile. She had a chunky profile. Like, she took time to write the way I do.
Kay Elaine wanted to know what dating site you met on.
Well, she was on Swirl, I was on Afro Romance, but they are connected because they're owned by the same company. So if you put a profile on one, it's automatically on the other. Automatically. You can't, like, when I was on Afro Romance and I found out about Swirl, I was like, okay, let me check out Swirl. Maybe there's a bunch of different people on here and whatever. And when I went on there, my profile was there, and it's all the same people. It's owned by the same company.
Okay. Well, new information tonight.
Mm.
So, let's see. Um, would you like to start with anything in particular, and then we can go there from there with my notes?
Um, the notes that I made, I think I was saving for my next video.
Okay. Well, she did. Okay, there was a part in Crystal's live today that she mentioned something about a cash app for $1 with "enjoy your date" message.
So there was one night where Sasha said she was going to go out to dinner or go out, and I was like, okay, by yourself with who? She goes, oh, with a friend, and I'm like, a friend? I'm like, come on now. Now
Thank you.
listen, everybody would have done the same fucking thing I did, and if they say they wouldn't, they're full of cap. Men and women cannot be friends. So please, ladies, stop telling men you're going out with a male friend. So she said she was going out with a friend, and it was a guy. And I don't know for sure that it ever happened. because I'm trying to remember that night, and it was like pretty quick. So I don't think she ever really did. I still, even the night that it happened, I was wondering if she was just testing me. And right now I'm looking back on it wondering, was she testing? Because it really wasn't that long that she was gone. But when she was gone, she blocked me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because we both have iPhones. So when I see my text message go through as a green bubble, a green text bubble instead of an iMessage, I know I'm blocked. Why the fuck? We have no problems. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's going on. Why would you block me? So, yes, I sent her a Cash App with a snide remark saying, good luck on your date. Trying to get her attention because I couldn't get her attention through the phone. She blocked me. So, my next best way to get in touch with her was send $1, just to send a message to her to let her know, hey, fuck you if you're going out with somebody else then.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else would have felt the same fucking way. That
Absolutely.
is,
I probably would have done the same thing. Oh, you going to go out with somebody? Okay, fine.
it's just suspect. It's too suspect. And when somebody that you're talking to or dating or whatever the case may be is acting suspicious, I don't want to hear no bullshit from anybody. You all would have done the same fucking thing. You all would have assumed they were out with somebody and been like, good luck. And at that point, it would have been fine. It would have been over. Goodbye. So all this making up this shit that I'm obsessed over. Oh my God, I won't leave her alone. Bitch, if you were on a fucking date that night, kick rocks. It's that simple. I'm not going to try to, because if you're going to do it once, you'll do it again. And she's the one over here always saying, oh, you're going to cheat on me. You're like all men, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Where are you getting this from? And then the whole thing about I'm not for black women. I'm not a true swirler. I'm not truly divested. I think
Neither
I
am
said
I.
this to you the other night on the phone. I was like, never in my life have I used the word divested in a sentence. Never. So I didn't know what the fuck this shit meant. But I'm not for black women. And now that I know of the existence, unfortunately, of Crystal Swirls, now I know where she gets all this shit from. And this is how we've gotten into our little arguments. And then she wants to say that I yelled at her. Well, yes, I did raise my voice when she was running her fucking mouth about how I'm not this and I'm not that and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, all of that. And I said, will you please stop talking over me? And I would tell her, do you want the man to lead the relationship or do you want to be a control freak? Oh, she didn't like that. When I said to her she was controlling, all fucking hell broke loose. All hell broke loose because she is. She's very controlling. And I don't really blame her. I blame the influence of Crystal Swirls. Sasha is being influenced by this shit. So
Yes,
did
we
I raise
agree.
my voice at her? Absolutely, I did. Do not fucking talk over me when I'm trying to tell you something. You're accusing me of things that I haven't done, that we haven't even been together in a relationship, and I haven't said, "Oh, honey, I'm going to go out to the store and I'm really going down the street to fuck some chick." It's like nothing like that has happened, but you're accusing me of it's going to happen. You are literally destroying your own potential for a relationship. And
That's
the
insecurity.
more guys you do this to, the more single you're going to stay.
That's insecurity.
Yeah.
Like in the Crystal's um video today,
Mhm.
when she was asking, I noticed that when she was asking Sasha questions, it seemed like Sasha really didn't have answer. It's more like Crystal was giving her a couple of leading words.
She was
And
leading, yes.
yes,
Yep.
because if things happen to you and they're the truth, you're gonna say it. There's no rehearsal of words. You're
And
gonna
there's no
tell,
laughing before you say it.
yeah, are you scared? Yeah. What do you what if you're scared, what are you laughing about?
If she was so scared of me, why did she wait until after I sent her the money for Black Friday to be scared of me? That is the biggest fucking question in this whole thing because they keep wanting to run on this. She was scared of me. She wanted to get me away from her. All this shit. Why did you wait until you got money from me and it wasn't enough money because they're complaining about how much money it was, while they say I'm crying about it? I am not the one crying about the $100. They are. They don't shut up about it. They keep it going and going and going. So I send you $100. It's Black Friday. You have me on the phone with you on FaceTime, showing me all the places you're going, showing me all the things you like. I'm registering this for potential Christmas gifts for you. And you mean to tell me this whole time you were afraid of me? You're afraid of the guy that's sitting there looking at everything that you're looking at and going, Christmas gift, Christmas gift, Christmas gift. I'm glad I didn't give her more money, because if I gave her more money, she'd have bought her own Christmas gifts. And what would that left me to do? Get her a card? Merry fucking Christmas. You bought your own gifts.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna. A girl that lives at home with her mom and doesn't really have anyone to buy for. I literally thought $100 would be enough for her to go get a couple of gifts for her mother. I wasn't thinking about Black Friday, here, go buy stuff for yourself, when it's my job to buy your stuff for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that none of the fucking minions of Crystal Swirls sat there and thought about that for a minute? Well, maybe
Because
he didn't give her the money because he didn't want her going buying her own gifts. He wants to buy the gifts.
any money that comes from said man is supposed to go to them and them only.
You know, they say it in the manosphere, and it's 100% correct. Single women keep women single. It's true. Single women keep women single. Crystal Swirls is single. She's not a married, happily married woman giving advice to women. She's fucking single. Talking to single women and
Girl.
keeping them single.
Okay. What about the let's discuss, there was something about role playing.
When I heard that, I almost wish that I knew that was going on and I would have done my own reaction to it as it was live, but I came into it like 66 minutes in. I literally remember this day. I had the rental vehicle and I was on my way to a local grocery store that's over here. It's a really shitty fucking store. I would much rather, and I will talk shit about Publix all day long, but I'd rather go to Publix than this fucking shit store. But I was on my way over there because I just moved to this area and I was looking for a Kroger's or a Food Lion or Publix, and this one place is there and it's kind of crappy. And I was going there, and as I was driving there, she suddenly got on this discussion. I had her on the phone connected to the car, so I was listening to her on the car speakers. That's how we were communicating. I didn't have my earpods in. This is why I remember this, because I didn't have my earpods. And she starts going, would you be into role play? And I'm like, oh God, here we go. I am not into role play. I'm not into BDSM. I'm not into any of that crazy shit. That shit has always turned me off because I've known women and I've dated a woman that was into that shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be dominated. And when I am dominated, it emasculates me. And I think it emasculates a lot of men, except the beta males. So anybody that said, no, there's plenty of men that good, go for them. They're called fucking beta males. So when she's talking about role play and this stuff, and I'm like, it depends. What are you talking about? The first thing that goes through my mind is she wants to put a dog collar around me and have me walking around on all fours. I know that ain't gonna fucking happen. No. She comes out with this fucking shit. And I really fucking hate doing this because this is diving too much into our personal conversations. But since they brought it up, I'll bring it up. She said to me, what if I act like I'm like a 6-year-old little girl and I was bad and you spank me and you send me to my room? I said, no.
Okay.
I said, no. That's disgusting. And number two, I told her, I let you get away every now and again with calling me that daddy shit, but I don't like it. I honestly don't like it. There was one woman the first night that we were together a few years ago. She started calling me daddy, in the middle of it all. I should have said, and I got off her and I said, don't ever fucking say that to me again. And she was like, what? I thought all you guys like this. This is the fucking thing. This is why I hate when people say all men like this or all women like this. We don't all like the same things. To me, that's a turnoff. Why? Because to me, I think of some incestual shit and it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. I wouldn't call a woman I'm fucking mommy. So why do I want you calling me daddy? It's nasty. It's fucking ugh. I don't want that.
Okay.
When I tell her that I have my limits to role playing, she gets on her tangent about how we're not compatible. I'm like, oh my fucking God, is this all this woman is about is sex? A virgin, all she's about is sex. She's learning this from Crystal. And I wouldn't be surprised because Crystal blatantly lied and said the first time she talked to Sasha was 4 days ago over the Black Friday weekend when she wanted to get rid of me. Throughout the time I knew Sasha, towards that last week, that third week is when she started telling me more about the podcast she listens to and was listening to her in the background. Excuse me. I ate some fucking chicken. God damn, it's kicking my ass. It was a little spicy, just a little bit. Where the fuck was I? Oh, what I was saying was all this role play shit and daddy and all this stuff. I am of the firm belief, I don't give a fuck what anybody says because Crystal believes what she believes. I'm going to believe what I believe. I believe Crystal was influencing Sasha on things to bring up in conversation with me to find out what kind of guy I am. I also think that she was probably influencing Crystal. Oh, because he's an older guy, maybe he likes this, maybe he likes that. And if you do this and you do that, he'll take care of you. Girl, no.
That is possible. Very possible.
It's very possible. And I believe that. I firmly believe it. Because now that I know who Crystal is, and I've listened to how she talks and the things that she talks about, and the obsession with sex that this woman has, fucking obsession, it's no wonder Sasha is the way she is. Because here is a virgin constantly talking sexual.
Yeah.
Not exactly what I was expecting.
You would think she would be a little more timid.
Timid, modest.
She said she wanted a Gen Z girl to call her mommy. Oh, that must be Crystal.
Unbelievable. So I am of the firm belief that because Crystal said she only talked to Sasha for the first time over this weekend, that's bullshit. Sasha said she's been in touch with her before. She said she's been in touch with her. Whether it was an actual phone call or text messaging, they have an exchange of phone numbers.
Of course.
So they've been in touch. It was not the first time they ever talked.
What about, the cartoon voices and Bell's Canyon?
Ever since Family Guy came on TV, I thought that the whole Peter Griffin thing was hilarious. So I used to try to imitate them. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, I took to people like Eddie Murphy, who used to really do good imitations of voices. And so I used to imitate voices. Like I would imitate Ralph Cramden, Ed Norton, the Honeymooners. I could imitate certain voices, but I wasn't good at a lot of them. But they have to be very distinct, you know? So my Peter Griffin voice was so horrible that I just kind of made it my own little voice. So I can't even do one right now. I can't even think of something. But let me give you an example of how Sasha and I talked. So
V-Dub says, what's up? He says, what's up?
Sup, Maestro? Oh. So let me just give you an example. So now that I live in the South, there's the whole Southern accent thing. I'll tell you what, I haven't heard it much, but when I went to the local flea market, I did hear a lot of the old school vendors with that real deep Southern accent, it's $5, but I could do $4 for you if you want. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, so that's, but out and about in my daily routine, my daily life, I don't hear the Southern accent as much. So somehow between her and I, my Peter Griffin, horrible Peter Griffin impersonation turned into like a Southern accent thing. And her and I would literally have this voice where we'd go like, let me see, how good. Oh yeah, so where she works, everybody is now charging for bags. Everybody, which is ridiculous. So she has to ask the customers, would you like a 5 cent disposable bag or a $2 reusable bag? So I'd be on the phone. I'd be like, yeah, make sure you show them bags. You gotta show them bags. And she's like, yeah, I'm showing them bags. She would say that right back to me in that same voice, like, yeah, I'm showing them bags. You know, and that's kind of like we would actually communicate like that for like a long period of time, going back and forth. And then we'd like do the little show and accent thing, like, hey, what are you doing today? Like that. It's just silliness. It was just fun. It kept both of us in a very high spirit. The Bells Canyon thing. There is a channel called Mr. Ballin, and he talks he describes in story format actual events or other people's stories. Really
I
cool. And
yeah.
so I introduced her to this. So when we were on FaceTime, I shared my screen with her and I said, I want to introduce you to this channel. And it happened to be that segment where there was, I think there was like 3 stories, and one of them was called Bell's Canyon. And so it's a story about a guy who's out pitching tent. He's camping, and he parks his car way, and he goes for a hike, and then he pitches tent, and he's hearing footsteps around his camp area, his campsite, and he goes out and he's looking around, and he can't find anybody. And then all of a sudden he flashes his light, and there's a guy standing right there out of nowhere, and he goes, "Do you know how to get to Bell's Canyon?" And apparently this happened like a few times to this guy over a course of like, I don't know, the night or a couple of days. And he's like running, trying to find his car, running back to his car. And he hears the voice again. Do you know how to get to Bell's Canyon? And so that became our thing to say to each other. So when she was working and the customers were getting on her nerves, she was in the phone. She would say to me, "I'm gonna send you motherfuckers to Bell Canyon." So that became a thing. So that's what
Right.
we were doing. Like, yeah, they need to go to Bell Canyon. I, how the fuck are you afraid of me?
It
I'm the
sounds like
biggest
you guys had
fucking
it
goofball on
sounds
the
like you
planet.
it sounds like you had a playful.
Very playful, very upbeat. We had our moments where we kind of were like, because anytime I disagreed with something like disagreeing with the whole sexual fantasy shit and disagreeing with, oh, well, here's another one. This, people might attribute it to her age. I'm sorry, but to me, an adult is an adult. An adult is a fucking adult. I'm not attributing this to so much to her age, because you're talking to a guy that only a few years ago was dating a woman that was 21. So she was 21. I was what? We are exactly 25 years apart. That would make me 46 at the time. My birthday's at the end of the year, so I might have been turning 47. So that would put us at 25 years apart, right? I think. Yeah, 46. Okay. So, um, if I was dating a woman who was 21 when I was 46, and this woman was literally in the same age group as Sasha, how is it? And I hate to say this, I mean, I don't have a bad thing to say about my ex. I don't talk badly about her. I just didn't like the whole boss bitch independent woman shit. I had enough of it. Other than that, she's a wonderful woman. Much luck to her.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that a woman in the same age group as Sasha was more mature than Sasha? Is it the upbringing? Is it the influence? I don't know. But one night I was feeling retro. She was on FaceTime. Matter of fact, she was doing homework, or she was supposed to do homework, her college course or whatever. And she said, "I got a lot of homework to do." I'm like, "All right." And I was feeling a little retro, so I popped on YouTube and I started looking up Earth, Wind, and Fire and all kinds of. I love that old school shit. I wish they would bring that kind of music back. So I brought up Boogie Wonderland, and I was over there. Boogie Wonderland, you know, and she's laughing and she's going on with it too. And, you know, we're both like kind of dancing in the camera to each other, even though she was supposed to be doing her fucking work. So now I'm distracting her. And then I went to a Donna Summer video and it was on the radio because I just felt like hearing that song. And matter of fact, um, I was kind of being romantic with her at the same time. Like I was singing to her. Someone read the letter you wrote me on the radio, and I was like singing it to her. And then I made the mistake of saying, you know, when I was a kid, I had a big crush on her.
What happened?
She hung up on me.
What? Because you
She
said you
basically told
had
me
a
to go
crush
fuck myself and
on.
hung up on me. Yep.
Because you said you had a crush on Donna Summer.
Yep. When I was a kid. I said, when I was a kid, I had a crush. Now, here I am talking to a black woman, telling her that when I was a child, I had a crush on a black woman. Because I know a lot of people think that a white guy just wakes up one bright sunny day and says, I think I'm going to go date black women today. Just like they think that, you know, men and women wake up one bright sunny day and go, I think I'm going to go date the same sex today. No, it don't happen like that. This was ingrained in me since the beginning. I have found black women attractive. So I was just sharing with her my childhood crush was Donna Summer. She got mad and hung up on me. And then she wants to talk about,
Well,
I wanted her.
that shows you that you're for black women.
Apparently I'm not enough. So when she says that I'm sending her money to control her and for her to kiss my ass, I was the one kissing her ass to calm her down about her anger over me having had a crush on a woman who is now dead when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. What?
Even if she was living today, it's not like you have access to Donna Summer.
Exactly.
It's a celebrity crush. Who doesn't?
Everybody has a celebrity crush. Most of the men in Generation X crushed on Farrah Fawcett of Charlie's Angels. Give me a fucking break. Everybody has celebrity crushes. Yes, very insecure. Very insecure.
Yeah.
And there is no reason for Sasha to be insecure with me. This is a past tense thing. When I was a kid, I had a crush on her. She could have just said, oh, that's cute. My childhood crush was so-and-so. My ex-girlfriend in Miami, her childhood crush was John Stamos from Full House.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not jealous of that. Everybody has a celebrity crush.
John
Matter
Stamos,
of fact, as a matter of fact, I went to a Comic-Con convention and they had a Full House reunion. And there was John Stamos. I had already been broken up from my ex-girlfriend at the time, but I took a picture of him from a distance and I sent it to her. And she was like, you're so lucky. Oh my God, I want to be there. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. I did that just to get at her, you know?
Wow.
Yep.
No celebrity crushes for you.
Oh.
Wow.
Can't even say I had a celebrity crush when I was a kid. That bothered her.
So I'm guessing she doesn't have one today. Thank you for my hair. Thank you. I guess she doesn't have a crush today then.
Maybe not. Maybe she's never had a celebrity crush. Maybe, I don't know. She never mentioned any. But I said to her, what, you don't have a celebrity crush? And she was just arguing with me. You know how Crystal and her minions were talking over me and not letting me speak? That's what Sasha does. So I am convinced Sasha gets that from Crystal, from watching Crystal and thinking to herself, this is how I got to be.
And don't look. Oh, she says you don't look 50. I thought it was me at first.
Thank you. But yeah, the only time I ever raised my voice at her was when she was doing that talking over me and she wouldn't answer a question. Much like these fucking weirdos, they ask you a question, you answer it, the answer isn't good enough, they start twisting it and talking over you and not letting you it's like, so yeah, I did. I raised my voice at her and I said, who do you want to lead this relationship, you or me? She says, I want a man that leads the relationship. Okay, then let me lead. And don't tell me I can't go to a restaurant. In the first week or the second week, it was the second week, because that would be the Saturday that I had to return the rental car because it had the amount of coverage on it for my insurance had expired. And she found out I went to that restaurant, or not found out, I took her with me on FaceTime. And she was livid, livid. If you want to act single, go be single. What the fuck are you talking about? You mean acting single? Go talk to your Becky's at the bar. You fucking want Becky at the bar. By the way, Becky at the bar has more ink on her body than you can find in a tattoo parlor. If I want to see art, I'll go to a museum. Ladies, stop with the fucking tattoos. Oh my
Let me
God.
ask you a question. Was that the restaurant and the dollar cash out about her date? Which one came first?
The restaurant.
So you went to the restaurant. She's still upset and she went on a fake date.
I don't think that was the same night, though. That wasn't the same night.
Necessarily the same
but she
night,
probably tried to get at me for that. Yeah, because I told her, I said, I promise you, I will not go back to that restaurant. I have no reason to. I could literally just order Uber Eats. I don't have to go actually physically sit there. But their chicken is really good. So I made her that promise, and she goes, "I know you're lying. You're going to go there anyway. What the fuck? Blah blah blah. You're going to go there anyway." I'm like, whatever. Like, and now I know she gets it from Crystal because she doesn't take any answers. Like, no answer is good enough for her. When I say no, I promise I will not go back there. I don't need to look at them. I'm not there to look at them. I'm there to eat the fucking food. The first time I went there, yeah, I was like, oh, wow, cool. It's like Hooters. You know, what guy wouldn't? But it's a family restaurant. There's people in there with their kids. Like, what the fuck? But I made her the promise, and nothing is good enough for this woman because of the woman that she's being influenced by. I'm convinced.
Let's see. There was an amount of money that, did they mention the massage or this?
No, they keep conveniently forgetting the massage. So in the first week that we were talking, so the first time was the restaurant I went to. It was Chili's. I went into a Chili's, and I haven't been in Chili's for years, but it was only because the other restaurant was jam packed, like a waiting list, fucking 30 minutes or more long, and so I went over to Chili's because it was in the same parking lot, and that's when we were talking because she had called me. That was after that whole hullabaloo with the cop calling me and I had to tell him, listen, I'm a 20-hour drive away from her. There's no way I was at a party that night. All that shit. I didn't get into that in the live, did I?
About the cop?
About how we met, how it all went down?
Yes, you did. You did.
I did in the live? Okay. So that would be our first time talking. Then the next night, I remember I was laying on my couch. As I said, I was going out on the balcony to have a cigarette. I was just coming right. The balcony was right off of my living room. And then maybe the third or fourth night, all I know we were coming onto a weekend. And the reason I know we're coming onto a weekend is because she mentioned wanting to get a massage. And I said, oh, when are you going to do that? And she goes, oh, probably next week on my day off. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. She mentioned maybe something about having enough money in her account, or seeing, maybe she'll have to put it off for another week and earn another paycheck, because she gets paid every 2 weeks. I fucking hate jobs like that, but she gets paid every 2 weeks. So I was like, I told her, I said, I've always wanted to get one of those too. I've never been to a massage parlor. I said, what do they run? What do they cost? She goes, oh, I think it's like around $75. Like, oh, okay, cool. I wasn't going to tell her I'll send her the $75. I'm the type of person that likes to surprise. So as a surprise, I sent her the $75. And she was so grateful, so thankful. And I put in the little space where you can leave a comment, I said, because I'm a man of my word, it's for your massage. Nobody mentions that. They conveniently stick to the $100 and the $21. The $21 was literally sitting in my Cash App. I had never cashed it out into my account, and I just sent it to her. It's been in there for months. It was a refund that I got for something, and I forgot about it, and I'm looking at the cash. I'm like, what the fuck is this $21? I couldn't remember what it was, so I had to go back and I was like in the trail, and I was like, oh, that's what it was. So I was like, you know what, Sasha, send. I said, hey, here's something. Go buy. I said, go buy yourself something, and I put SU''UM, and I was being silly because I'm like, $21. Why put it in my car? Fucking have $21. They're making a catastrophe out of $21. Oh my God, how dare you? How dare you? Okay, then fucking give it back. If you don't fucking appreciate it, give it back. And you know what happened when I told Sasha after the fact, when she started doing that whole breaking up with me thing on a Saturday night, the night after Black Friday? I told her, if you're not grateful for anything I've given you, pay me back. She called me a broke ass. Only a broke ass would say that. No, a fucking millionaire would say that. If you're gonna be fucking ungrateful for whatever you are given, instead of being humbled and appreciative, then fucking give it back. If you do not want it, give it back.
That reminds me of a story with Crystal and Dan. Back when Crystal and I were friends, he sent her $500 through YouTube. The what do you
Super
call that?
chat?
Super chat, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, with that money, you have to wait for it for a certain time. You don't get it automatically. And she needed the money right then, so he sent her 500 cash back, 500 in a cash app under the instructions that she would give back the other 500 in the super chat. This is a conversation she's having with me on the phone. We used to be
Mhm.
friends. She goes on live and talking about, yeah, he gave me 500 and he wants it back. Like it was only just 500. No, it was 1,000. He sent you 5 in replacement of the other 5 he was supposed to give back. And she went
Mhm.
in. He wants. And they're like, oh, what kind of man is he asking for his money back? Because they thought it was just 500. Krista made Dan dig into big views where he learned. Yeah, he did. She did. Let's see. Let's see. Was there something there was something we spoke before this. You said you wanted to save for the live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again.
There was something that you wanted to save here for the live.
Um, Now I don't know which one it was. Was it the one about the $66?
It might be. I don't have that in my notes. So
Oh,
if,
what do you got? Let's go with what you
if
got.
there's something more that you want to talk about on the $66.
Well, apparently, um, Sasha told me on, I think, was it on Black Friday itself, or was it the next day? I think it was the next day. Yeah, so it was the Saturday that she would have been working. Yeah, the Saturday she's working. She's got me in her earpods. The Saturday of what would be the night that she ended up breaking up with me. Um, she said that she sent Crystal a $5 donation and she wanted to talk to her. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not thinking anything. I'm like, you want to talk to your fucking favorite YouTuber? Go right ahead. What the fuck? I'm not thinking anything at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she kept mentioning it, like, especially when she got off work. Oh, I got to call Crystal. I got to call Crystal. I want to talk to her. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we typically would stay on the phone throughout her bus ride because she's a pretty girl in a big city and she's alone and she's taking public transportation. And I told her, keep me on the phone with you. However, we did have a problem with the Wi Fi whenever she was on the bus or the train. So I'm like, oh, it would drop. She'd call me back. It would drop. She would call me back. So I said, you know what? When you get off the bus, call me. So you get on the bus, we can hang up because the reception's going to be horrible anyway. When you get off the bus and you start walking, call me because I don't want her. I mean, there's not much I can do 20 hours away, but I could be some kind of a witness if anything happened.
Mm-hmm. And call the police if necessary.
Exactly. She did not call me. She did not call me for the next couple of hours. And I was starting to get worried. Like, I know how long it takes her to get home. This ain't right. So I'm texting her and she's not responding. And also, if I'm not mistaken, my texts were going through as green text bubbles instead of iMessages. Like, here we go. Here we go with this bullshit. Finally, after about, let's see, so she left work. She leave at 5. And then she sat down in the break room and ate like she usually does. And look at her. Why do I know her whole fucking routine? Like, I feel like this woman should have been my girlfriend, my fiance, my wife. I know her whole fucking routine. Like, it really hurts to go over this because I was getting to know her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she would eat after work in the break room. And I had ordered some Uber Eats. So we were both eating at the same time. And I told her, when you get off the bus, call me. And all this time, maybe over an hour, maybe into 2 hours. And then she texted me and said, hold on. And I'm like, okay, cool. She's good. She's alive. Yes. But then I started getting like, what the fuck is this hold on shit? And I'm thinking to myself, is she talking to that woman? The same woman that I wanted to now do a response video to, that I didn't like what I was hearing from. And I'm thinking, what is it that she could possibly want to talk to this woman about? So she kept putting me off. She sent me a couple of hold ons. Wait a second, I'll call you in a minute. She called me. It was night and day. We go from in the earpods talking about sending customers to Bell's Canyon because they're getting on her fucking nerves. And when she asked them, would you like a 5-cent bag? And I'm, huh? And I'm telling her in her earpods, I said, if they can, they can hear. And she's laughing and she's talking to me and she's telling the customer, no, I'm not talking to you. And that's like, they think she's talking to herself. Must have been hilarious to see. And so all that same evening when she got home, it was like she just came from a fucking funeral. Her demeanor was so night and day. It changed, and she was angry, and she was like packing stuff, or she was claiming she was packing stuff up. Now, at first, there was no FaceTime. It was only audio call. And I said, let me see you on FaceTime. I want to see you. And it took a couple of huffs and puffs and, fine. And then we went on FaceTime, and there she is, like she's throwing stuff in bags and talking about how I got to get the fuck out of here. I've got to get out of here. I can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait to be on my own. I can't wait to leave this place. And I'm like, well, we're doing that, aren't we? You know, we're getting you your apartment. Then she started complaining about her driving test and how it's going to cost her $260 or some shit like that. I said, honey, I've got you. And she's going on like she's ran, and then she heard me say, don't worry, I got you on that. And she was like, she almost stopped for a minute, like she was thinking about that, like, oh, you got me? Because I had never mentioned that before. But I had every intention of sending her the money for that. So I said, honey, I got you. I got you with that. I'll take care of that. I'll give you the money for the driving test. All of a sudden, she calmed down. Then she went right back into it again. And she was kind of blaming her environment, I guess. But now that I look back on that night when she was angry like that, and the fact that that's the night she talked to Crystal, it all makes sense now. She wasn't mad because she got home and her mom said something fucking half-assed out the side of her mouth to her. No. She was influenced and brainwashed by Crystal about how much money I gave her for Black Friday. How do you go from being at work joking with me in your earpods about the customers to, I'm scared of him. Here, Crystal, here's $66. Get him away from me. You were just laughing with me on the fucking phone a few hours ago, but you're frightened out of your mind of me? What the fuck is happening here? I am lost. I am in total fucking confusion. What's going on? Crystal keeps getting on live saying, oh, she was afraid of you. She's afraid she's scared you're going to do something to her. I'm sitting here laughing my ass off talking about her crazy customers that don't know how to listen when she's talking to them. And we're making fun of them in the phone on her earpods. And then she gets home and she's afraid of me?
And Crystal admitted that $66 was that Sasha gave her that $66 to do her dirty work, as in pretty much scare you off.
Then I have this to say to Sasha. you done fucked up. That money, whether it was not enough or too much, was yours. It was yours. $100 that you did not have prior to that, and you gave somebody more than half of it. More than half of it. You're stupid. You left yourself with 44 fucking dollars. And you literally hired someone to kick me out of your life. What? The money that you could have said, and they can go on all they want about, oh, weed costs more than, I don't give a fuck. A carton of cigarettes in New York City costs more than the money I gave her. It's irrelevant. The money I gave her was for her. Because I don't want her buying her own gifts for Christmas. I wanted to buy her gifts for Christmas. I'm thinking with $100, she can get a couple of things for her mom. If she needed more, she could have said, oh, I saw this thing I want to get for my mom. It's like $60. Okay, here's another 60. That 30. Here's a whole another 100. Why is this girl going on live fucking YouTube saying that she was afraid to ask me for something? All she had to do was ask, and they're saying that I wanted her to
Crystal's
ask.
line. That's
Yes,
Crystal's
they're
line.
saying that I
Not knowing
wanted
how
her
to
to
ask.
ask me. No, if you do really need it, ask me. Baby, I'm going to say yes. I would only say no if there's something really detrimental going on that I'd be like, oh, fuck. Because I'm not a millionaire. I'm 100,000-aire, but I'm not a fucking millionaire. And even if I was, I could still say no if I fucking want to. I worked for a millionaire in Manhattan. He owns a pizzeria, a chain of pizzerias. It's not corporate, it's privately owned. Thank God. I fucking hate corporates. This guy is a multi-millionaire. His wife tried to get his $14 million flat in Manhattan in their divorce. $14 million flat over owning a few pizzerias. And I'm talking about takeouts. The only one full-size restaurant he had was in Connecticut, and I worked there. This guy would come in from New York occasionally and pop in, like owners always pop in on their stores. And he would pop in and he would randomly go up to tables. We had an open kitchen. I was the everything guy. I was the line cook. I was the takeout. I was the bar back. I was everything. I even served in that fucking place. My manager put more trust in me than anybody else in that fucking. But he even told me, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there for the next 2 or 3 hours. Please hold the fort down. He didn't ask anybody that worked there for 10 fucking years to hold the fort down. He asked me. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. This owner of this restaurant came in one time and I was there. I was working. And he walked up to a couple of tables and he was asking the people, how do you like it? How do you like the food here? Is everything good? One of the couples there, it was like this kind of emo goth couple that used to come in all the fucking time and sit down, eat a couple slices of pizza on their lunch break and then go back to work. The guy came up to the counter and he goes, yo, because they got, I knew them. They're there all the time. I said, yeah, what's up, man? He goes, who's the homeless guy walking around here? I said, oh, that's the owner. He's just like, the owner, I used to call him as a little nickname on the DL. I used to call him Shaggy. All he needed was a fucking dog, and it would have been Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. That's how this guy dressed, like he was a throwback from the 1960s Flower Child era. This guy is a multi-millionaire, and you would not know it by looking at him. He did not flash his money by the way he presented himself. Okay. Multi-millionaire. And somebody thought he was a homeless guy. So, keep on judging people by how they look, Crystal. And make sure to tell Sasha to do the same thing.
Okay. Speaking of money, the apartment that they say that she left the apartment and moved in with some guy.
I listened to that live again because when I came in on it, that's what she was saying. So I think I might have misheard her. So I will correct myself on that one. I think what she was doing is she was giving a scenario. Because I went back and I listened to the whole thing. And I think what Crystal was doing was giving a scenario about her moving here and me bothering her and her running. I'm not sure, but I think it was like a hypothetical example she was making. But when I came in on hearing it, it sounded like she was actually telling her audience that Sasha lived here and I was bothering her, and she quickly moved out and ran away with some guy in a condo. That's how it sounded. But you see, I can admit when I'm wrong. Now, if I misheard that, I will admit it. So that's why I'm saying I went back and I listened from a little more earlier on than that. And as I was listening, I'm saying, oh, okay, she's making a hypothetical. At first, I thought she was actually telling people that it already happened. But I think I was wrong on that. And I'll admit when I'm wrong. She won't, and neither will Sasha. But that's okay. I'll just be the bigger person.
Um, so you were willing to, well, we discussed the situation, the rent. You were going to pay what, up to 3 months, and if needed,
3 months was just, listen, that was just something I threw out there. There was never any real set thing about 3 months. I just said, well, how about if I just pay up to 3 months? If you need more than that, okay. I'm thinking, oh, let me go back now. Now that we're talking about the apartments again, we were looking at short term leases. So we were looking at anywhere from a 6 month to a 12-month lease. Some places have it to where it's 18 months, and they'll give like a little bit of a discount off the price if you're going to stay there for, longer than a year. So we were looking at a potential for a 6 month. And now this is okay. So that one was, I told you she was going back and forth. First, it was she wanted to live in the city where the college is going to be. Then she said she would live here in this city, but obviously not with me. She didn't want to cohabitate. And but then we settled on looking in that city. And let me just make sure that apartment complex. Let me go on apartments.com real quick, and just to make sure that it was in the city where the college is. Uh, shit. Not even. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's in the city that she wanted to go to college in. I just wanted to make sure of that. So we were looking at 6 month leases. That might have been for if she wanted to come here to where I am. Caught that one right. Yeah. To where I am,
where you are.
and then because her schooling wouldn't start until I think she said July or August of 23. So a short term lease for here and then move there. So I think that's where the 3 month thing first came from. And then it kind of just rolled over into those apartments, I think. But in any case, I was going to fill out the application form, which was $99. The deposit, what did she say the deposit was? Half of the first month's rent. They dropped it. They used to want the same amount of rent as the deposit, but they dropped it. And whatever other fees there were for the application fee. So I was going to pay all that. I was going to secure the apartment for December because it's still being occupied. The leasing lady said there's still people in there. They're set to leave in December 1st or 2nd or whatever. And then before they rent the apartment out, they have to renovate it. They got to clean it, repaint it, everything good landlords are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that she said it wouldn't really be ready until like the end of December. And I said to the lady, I said, okay, well, because they didn't have really good pictures, I said, can you send me pictures of it? Because I'm more concerned with the closet space because she needs a lot of closet space. She has a lot of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll take pictures myself and I'll email them to you. I was like, cool, perfect. This is Sasha's on the 3-way call with me during this time. So I think I said to Sasha, I said, you know what? I'll pay the first 3 months just to get you in there. So the idea was for the security deposit to secure that she was going to get the apartment. She was going to move in January. So I was going to pay January, February, and March just to have it paid for because I was uncertain. I know I move like a fucking dead snail. When I moved to where I am now, I took my fucking time. I took the whole last month of my lease at the other place to move in here. Like I stretched the whole fucking thing out where I could have just rented a fucking van, loaded everything up, and I would have been done in like 2 trips. I took the whole fucking month of November. Or yeah, no, October. October into November. So I don't know how much time it's gonna be. It's a 20-hour fucking ride. We're gonna stop along the way. We're not gonna do that all the way through. So I was like, if the month of January is paid for, we could take our time moving back and, moving stuff, driving back and forth, up and down, moving whatever the fuck you got to move. And then you're all set for February and March. If you don't find a job, the job you want to work, you said you want to work, she's lying if she tells you she didn't want to work. She's blatantly lying. I told her, I don't want you to work. She wants to work. Okay, no problem. But if she doesn't get a job, obviously I'm not going to let her default on I'm not going to default on it. It's going to be under my name. Of course I'm going to pay the rent. So where is Crystal getting this fucking whack ass idea that after 3 months and after I fuck Sasha and take her virginity, I'm going to bounce? Do you realize, you dumb fuck, you walrus, that I would be bouncing on my own lease contract and I would be fucking up my own rental history, you dumb fuck? Let them answer that. Nope, they will divert from it and go into the old man. She don't want you. You're old. Da, 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 da,
Mhm.
da.
Revert back to
Followed
that.
by I didn't give her enough money to like me. You can't make this shit up. Yep.
Well, maybe she can. Why wouldn't she stay in the dorm at her college? I mean, being that she's
I,
afraid of
you
you.
know, I don't want to mention the name of the college, but I think Sasha should do maybe a little more research by asking around. Maybe she should ask people if they know about this college and know any of its history and background. Um, I found out about it. I mean, I knew where she was going. She told me where she was going. Duh. I'm over here trying to find her an apartment next to it, as close to it as possible. But it turns out this is an HBCU.
What?
It's an HBCU college. Not exactly what I was expecting from a swirler, but it's an HBCU college.
Who's scared? Black men are bad. Ooh, they're killers. Okay.
You can't make this shit up.
Didn't you say that she was walking down the street one day and a black guy was looking at her and she got fearful and she was like, my boyfriend, meaning you, was going
Meaning
to.
me, yeah. I was in the back of an Uber that day. Yes, I remember it as clear as yesterday. Because I said to her, "Oh, I'm your boyfriend now officially," and she starts giggling, and I'm like, "Well, it's about time you told me I'm your boyfriend." In that stupid little silly voice that we do. Yep.
And she's going to a HBCU.
Your guess is as good as mine. But she
So
did tell me. That she wanted to go to a college where there were more black people. She did say that to me, and I was like, what does it matter the amount of what's the demographic of race? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Why don't you go to college to get an education and not worry about your surroundings, unless of course the surroundings are bad? I don't want you in a college that's going to be bad. But who the fuck in their right mind, and I know there's a lot of people that do, which means they're not in their right mind. They're more concerned about the demographic of race than the fucking education they're about to go get.
because in the real world, you're going to have to be around everybody. But
Yeah, in the real world, yeah. But you know, do a quick search on Google
Psycho
of this college, and
said
it
she wants to be around more black people. I thought that was Blackistan. Yeah, they're supposed to be staying away from Blackistan. But go ahead, what you were saying?
I was saying I did a search, an inquiry about the college, and it said something about, where was it? I put in, it was one of those one like in Google where it says, like, if you put a search in Google and you search for like a phrase, a paragraph, or not a paragraph, but like a little phrase, and then there's like these question and answers, and it'll say, it'll ask a question, and then you click it and it drops down and gives you an answer. Well, one of the questions was, is such and such college a party college? And
Mhm.
the drop down answer was, there are crazy parties daily. So are you going there to get an education? Or are you going there to party, get drunk, and, hey, Crystal, potentially get graped? Because that shit happens at college parties all the time.
Or
But
someone
Crystal is convincing her
mysteriously,
that I'm going to do that.
or somebody mysteriously put their phone number in her phone, like situation.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
And
So
even if she says she doesn't drink, that's irrelevant. You drink water, you drink soda, you drink juice. Watch out for somebody putting some shit in there.
so
Drink
she
doesn't necessarily have to mean alcohol.
so she told you that she wants to go to a college where there's more black people. But wow, okay.
Make it make sense.
That's I wonder how she would explain that one to Crystal.
You got some splaining to do, Lucy. You got
Oh,
some splaining.
wow. Wow. Huh. See, it's a major city late night party, bro. She ain't no virgin. Honestly, I have to question that too because of the whole bondage and role playing, and it's like she has so much knowledge of those things, and she's telling you she wants to do those things. I mean, she does it. She wants to wait to get married. Well, wait until you're married. Not that you can't discuss those things,
Right, you
but
can discuss them, absolutely, yeah.
what?
But I just think it's too
Why
much
is that even on her mind right now?
because of the shit that she listens to. She is overall a very elegant, very modest woman. She carries herself very femininely. She dresses very modestly. She doesn't go out looking trashy. She goes out dressed very nice. Very nice. Yet she's listening to someone who is very masculine, very ghetto, very ratchet.
And
Where was the attraction to that?
she probably thinks she's supposed to do all the let's role play, and that she probably thinking that that's what you want, or when she's dealing with a man, that that's what the man wants. With
And
some
that is why
people,
she's got to stop listening to people like Crystal. Crystal is telling everybody what everybody likes and what everybody wants. Every individual person is an individual, hence the meaning of the word individual. Stop fucking lumping everybody together. We don't all like the same shit. All men like this, all men like that. No, we don't.
Moonstone says she's a virgin, and the only reason why she knows that stuff is because she followed Crystal.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, she
absolutely.
just gave advice to a 16-year-old to watch porn and play with herself. So there you go. The woman is toxic. And Sasha, regardless of the college, if she goes in and starts talking like that to the wrong person, because colleges, parties, any lot of things can happen in a college. Can happen. Not saying they will, but can.
She is going to set herself up for disaster if she talks to, and Crystal's worried about me being an older man. Talk to a younger guy like that.
Whose hormones are raging.
Ho ho! And be in a fucking room with that guy alone. Good
Doesn't that
luck.
count as grooming?
All right, time for me to go have a cigarette, and you coming with me?
All right. I can't believe this is an HBCU. Boy, Crystal Swirl. I hope you see this video. Your divested, swirling baby girl is going
Mm-hmm.
to an HBCU.
There's always such crazy noises around here. It freaks me out, but it's actually acorns falling out of the tree, hitting the neighbor's shed, and it freaks me the fuck out because I think it's like some wild animal going to come out and like eat me.
It could be one of Crystal's minions coming for you. She's got
Oh
500 on
yeah,
your head.
oh yeah. Oh, I'm not letting that go. I am not letting that go. She literally fucking threatened me through an electronic device interstate. She said it right there that she's going to pay someone to come get me. You
Said it
saw that
twice.
video I made, right?
I haven't seen your video, but I actually have it myself. I made a small one. I made a mention of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I made a video and I put in there a copy of the United States Code for making
yes,
threats. You
I
saw
did
that
see
one?
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did. She's gonna learn.
One way or
She,
another.
she's threatened her son about taking her other son. You know, had that phone call with Tyrone that she secretly recorded him, and you can't do that. It's against the law to secretly record somebody, not letting them know. Of course, she had to take that video down once somebody got smart and told her. But I got it.
Unbelievable. I fear for Sasha continuing to follow this woman. And like there's so many other people on YouTube she could possibly follow. If she needs that kind of mentorship, but shouldn't she get that mentorship from the man she's looking up to as a provider and protector? Her own boyfriend, future husband? Why are you looking to people on the internet? People on the internet get online and act like fucking assholes. They don't
Uh,
care about anybody. They're not
She
your
men-
friends.
she mentioned because she mentioned I think it was a older cousin that told her that she should try older men. And of course, they went into a rant about, oh yeah, when she does that, then he'll probably try and get with her too. Well, if that's true, well, they always talk about uncles, and I don't know how true that is with the cousin who told her that. But if he did, that's wrong. She, oh boy, she is so naive. She is going to fall for the okey doke, and then she's going to be dropout college student and pregnant.
And the one thing I want to mention too here um is this whole thing about her age and she's immature and that's why she's playing games. I just want to mention something. About 10 years ago in 2012, on that same dating site, I met a woman, or I shouldn't say met, I started talking to a woman that was in another state. I was still in Connecticut at the time, and she was 32. I'm 10 years ago, I'm 40. She was 32. And we started exchanging phone numbers and we were FaceTiming each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful woman, beautiful woman. And you want to talk about playing games. She offered to fly because we started talking about Halloween. Halloween was coming up. It was Halloween of 2012. And Halloween was coming up. And I told her it's my favorite holiday. And she said, oh, it's my favorite holiday too. And I said, I've never gone out and I never have, except when I was a little kid. But in my adult life, I never went out and like dressed up and went to like a Halloween party or bar hopped and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, oh, we can do that. I'm like, all right, cool. So I live close enough to New York. Let's go out in New York. She goes, okay, I'm going to come up there. I'm going to fly up there and we'll, I'll spend the Halloween weekend with you. I'm like, all right, let me know how much the ticket is. I'll buy the ticket. She goes, no, I got it. I'll buy my ticket. I'm like, are you sure? I'll buy the ticket for you. She goes, no, I'll get it. I'll get it this week. It was getting close to Halloween. So all of a sudden, the week of Halloween, she disappears, doesn't respond to my text. Now she didn't block me, but she wasn't responding to my messages. And I was like, hey, where have you been? Hey, are you still there? What's going on? Are you still coming? I want to know, because now I'm making my plans around her coming here. So you got to let me know what's going on. I'm literally stopping things that I could do because I'm expecting a guest. Well, the day before Halloween, I think it might have been, she finally responds to me and tells me, I was in California. I had a relative that died and I had to go to a funeral. And I said to her in the text, I said, well, why didn't you just tell me that? And she goes, I don't need to tell you what I'm doing. Oh, excuse fucking me. But you've got me expecting you as my guest for the Halloween weekend. And I'm preparing to have a guest and trying to find places for us to go in New York. And you can't tell me that, oh, hey, something come up. My cousin or whoever the fuck got shot and killed or whatever. I got to go to a funeral. That's all you got to tell me. I'm not asking for your social security number and the time of the fucking day you take a shit. I'm asking you to just let me know what's going on. This is a 32-year-old woman playing this game. So all y'all need to stop with the fucking Sasha's only 20. Okay, what do you got to say about the 30-year-olds that play the same fucking game shit?
Because that 30-year-old was playing it when she was 20.
Yeah, exactly. Some people never change. That's why that was just one of many experiences with women above the age of 25, we'll say, that led me to believe it's not about the age, it's the individual person. You could be like my ex-girlfriend, 21 years old, and not get mad at somebody for saying they had a celebrity crush when they were a kid.
Mm-hmm. They say that Sasha knew what she was doing. I think so too. I think so too. Like someone said earlier, Sasha knew she was doing. Crystal just enabled it.
I think if Sasha got away from listening to Crystal, if she never listened to Crystal, I don't even know how she found Crystal. Maybe Crystal comes up in searches for swirling. I don't know. But I
Yeah,
think
pretty much.
Sasha might have a good heart and a good initial intention for herself, but it's being corrupted. And I'm not going to hurt little Sasha, who stands 5'9" to my 5'8", and in heels would probably tower over me. I'm not going to hurt little Sasha. My ex-girlfriend at 21 years old when I was 46 got on a plane and came up to see me all by her little self, and she's 5'4". And she spent a 3-day weekend with me. And when I went down to Miami to visit her, the first place I went was her mother's house. Yet Sasha didn't want me to help her move because she didn't want me knowing where her mommy lives. Because she thinks I'm going to do something to her mommy or to her. What the
What?
fuck? Lady, I've had other girlfriends in the past. What's wrong with you? What the
Wait,
fuck is wrong with this
wait,
person?
wait. She was willing to move with you.
Mhm.
She didn't want you to know where her mother lived because she thought you were going to do something to her mother.
I told her, instead of hiring, and I'll go through this again. I know I
If
went through
I
it.
feel that somebody's going to hurt my mother, then I'm
No.
not going to want to be with them either because they might hurt me. That's just stupid. Where's she getting this shit?
Here's those Pepsis that they're hoping kill me like the Red Bulls killed Kevin Samuels.
Oh my goodness.
So I think I said this in the other live. When you hire a moving company, like I did when I moved from Florida to here, you have to just accept whatever part of the trailer, the tractor trailer, whatever part of that trailer, your shit goes on. If they have 10 customers moving, wherever your shit goes is the order in which they're going to drop shit off. So if your shit is in the middle of the trailer and they have stuff towards the end where they open the doors, those are going to get delivered first. It's going to go in order. Meaning you can be waiting a whole fucking week to get your fucking furniture and your shit when you're already at your apartment. So I said to her, it's going to cost like thousands of dollars for you to sit on your ass, put your hands under your ass, and just sit there waiting for the truck to get to you. Take into consideration traffic, potential accidents, anything that holds up that truck. Let me rent a fucking U-Haul, a little fucking box truck if you want to bring your bed, and I'll come up there, we'll pack it all up, and we will drive it down together. If any damage happens to it in the back of the fucking truck while we're driving, it's on us. Or maybe it's even on me, and I'll fucking replace the shit. I don't want you to know where I live. Excuse me, Sasha, you're not the only woman I've ever dated in my life. I've been to my ex-girlfriend's houses. I've been to their mommy's houses and their daddy's houses and their cousins' houses on fucking Christmases and Thanksgivings. What the fuck is wrong with this girl?
But if she was planning on this relationship with you, you think she want to introduce her family to you. So she's not serious. Never was.
Let me tell you, that's one of the first arguments we really had. That's one of the first arguments. When she says yes, I yelled at her. Yeah, I did raise my voice. I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't give a fuck about your house and where you live and what the address is. I'm going to put it in the GPS. I'm going to come get you. We're going to load up the fucking truck and we're going to drive it down here. I'm going to drop your shit off and you at your new apartment. You think I'm going to make a 20-hour fucking drive to go do something to your mom? What the fuck?
No intention of seeing this through with you. There was no intention of seeing this through. Because when she got what she needed to get from you, back to mommy's house or wherever.
Here's what I gotta say about that. To the women who do that shit, stop it. Because when you get what you get and you go move on to the next guy, you're really taking a chance because the next guy, you might like him and he might talk the talk, but he might not fucking give you what you want. So why, if you have someone who is willing to do all these things for you, would you give that up? You're playing Russian roulette. There's no guarantee that you're going to keep finessing a bunch of different men. Some men will catch on very quickly and say, fuck out of here. And you're sitting there with your hands on your ass, hoping you can try the next guy and try the next guy and try the next guy. You had a guy willing to do all this for you, and you said, nah, not good enough. Crystal says I should go out and try this with all guys. Go finesse a bunch of guys and get a bunch of money. There's no guarantee they're going to give you fucking money.
And you were doing a hell of a lot for 3 weeks.
I liked her. I liked her a lot. What she presented to me, and this is before I knew the existence of Crystal Swirls, what she was presenting to me, minus a few little things that I should have seen as red flags, I liked what I was seeing. I liked that she doesn't dress trashy. I liked her soft-spokenness because she's ladylike. I liked how she carried herself. All these things add into liking somebody. That's it. I mean, Crystal makes everything about sex. No, it's not about sex. It's how you present yourself. Crystal was talking about first impressions, and I had the chance to make my first impression with money. No, fuck you. You don't make your first impression with money. You make your first impression with you, with who you are.
I agree. And Crystal's first impression is what she has to offer, which is sex, 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 sex. And nobody's staying around that rat hole.
That's it.
I'm still back in my mind. I'm still thinking about the college.
That's crazy. That makes no fucking sense to me, but whatever. And
Oh,
Crystal should probably take a step back from calling me a fucking potential rapist and start telling Sasha, on campus and on these college campuses and these parties, a lot of that shit happens, honey. Listen, I
oh.
lived in Miami Beach. Literally walk out my front door, walk 2 blocks to the right, and you're in South Beach where all the fucking trash goes down during spring break. Do you know how many date rapes happen? A lot. Every fucking day in the news, something was happening in Miami Beach. There were shootings, there were rapes, there were date rapes. I'm so sick of YouTube. Fuck YouTube. They are crazy down there when they party. It's the same on a college campus. One of the differences is on a college campus, you're kind of stuck there. There's a
Mhm.
party going on in a college campus. You're not in Miami Beach where there's a whole fucking trove of fucking people and cops everywhere and you can scream and fucking run. But a lot of them happened in hotel rooms. So the guys would get the girls, they get them a little high, pop something in their drink. Again, it does not matter what you drink. If you're not an alcoholic, that's great. If you don't drink alcohol, that's great. You could be drinking a Pepsi and somebody could go like that, and then your ass is in a fucking hotel waking up with your fucking pants down. But
Yep.
no, Crystal isn't going to say that. Crystal's going to say, stay away from Maestro. He's going to rape you. Crystal, you got problems. Deep
Oh, wait
fucking
till she finds
problems.
out she's going to HBCU. Oh, the black males, you're gonna get raped. You're gonna be walking to class, and they're gonna come up to you, and they're gonna do this and that, and then they're gonna be trying to talk to you. You're gonna be trying to study, baby girl.
I'm the bad guy. I'm the fucking bad. Me, who tells Sasha, stay on the phone with me on FaceTime while you're walking home. I know she's probably done it 1,000 times, but now you know me, and I care for your safety. Stay on the phone with me. I can at least be a witness to if anything happens. And I can call the police over there and I can say, this is her phone number. Get a lock on the GPS, find out where she's located and help her. But I'm going to hurt her. She's got to stay away from me.
V Dub says, "Show me a dating coach, and I'll show you somebody who rejected growing up." Got that right.
And all this stuff about I can't handle rejection has to stop. Yes, I can handle rejection. I've rejected people. I've rejected women plenty of times. I can handle it. I'm not so keen on how it happened.
It's not the rejection; it's the scam part of it.
Exactly.
The using of you, taking advantage of you.
And they keep saying that I was saying Sasha used me. I never said those words. I never said Sasha used me. Never. But Crystal keeps saying that. She keeps saying it over and over again. You're saying Sasha used you. I never said the word Sasha used me. I said she's influenced by you
Hi, Highlight
to
Princess. Thank
finesse
you.
men. That's what I said. But yeah. So it's not about being rejected. We're talking about 3 weeks. You had plenty of time to reject me when you saw my age on the dating site. You could have never responded to me and just disappeared. Your fucking profiles got deleted by the site administrator anyway. I'd have never been able to contact you again. You made the choice. You saw cha-ching, cha-ching, dollar sign. You saw the age 50. Oh, cha-ching, 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 and dollar signs in her eyeballs.
Oh yes, make a point of that. She knew his age from day one because it's posted on the profile that of the site that they met. So she knew from day one he was 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not about rejection, it's about how it happened. Because she didn't reject me. She literally just dumped me based on the fact that I didn't send her enough money for Black Friday. That's what it all comes down to. So either I send her for Black Friday, let's say I sent her $300 or $500. Would it be that wasn't enough, or would she still be with me right now? We don't know.
Crystal would make it not enough.
Mm.
They would find some way to make it not. Okay, you gave her that. Well, what's she gonna do next weekend? It wouldn't have been enough.
No, it wouldn't have been enough. No.
Mm.
No. That's why when it really dawned on me when I was on the phone with them, and I don't know which, it wasn't Crystal, it was the other girl that asked me, goes, well, what kind of allowance would you give her? Allowance? The fuck? What? Why are you even in that? As soon as she said that, I knew what the whole thing was about. The whole
Now,
thing had just crashed down against them and in my favor when she said that.
now, had you been giving her an allowance? Oh, you're treating her like a child.
You
Just
can't
give her,
win.
just give her the credit card.
Yep. Absolutely
Oh
cannot
no,
win.
you're not going to win.
No.
They
The
want you
best
to
way, the best way
tell
that
you
I
what.
come out winning, the best way
Mhm.
I come out winning is that she dumped me and I no longer have to spend my money on her. No matter how much it is. Not $1, not $100, not $1,000. She dumped me, it's her loss. Now she will never know. But she would have gotten a nice ring, she would have gotten a nice coat, and the third gift was going to be the camera for her YouTube. Were there going to be other gifts? Abso-fucking-lutely, because again, I was watching what she was looking at while she had me on FaceTime, pointing the camera out at the stores that she was in and going, ooh, this is nice. Ooh, this is not, oh, I like this. Registering all this and knowing which stores she went, I could easily go online and order the shit. I don't even have to physically go to the store. Her loss. She could have had Christmas gifts piled as high as I am, but she fucked it up. Because she's scared of me and she thinks she needs to get the police. Call the police. We'll all go open your Christmas presents together with you. Fucking idiot. Think I'm going to be afraid of her calling the police on me when I have a legitimate fucking threat made against me over an electronic device interstate and I have it on record, on video? You better think twice, honey. You better think twice. Remember, Sasha, remember what you told me on the phone? I'm a grown woman. I can think for myself. Good. Then prove it. Think for yourself and stop thinking like the fucking puppet you are for Crystal. Crystal's literally shoving her hand up Sasha's ass and making her talk. She's a fucking ventriloquist doll.
And she pretty much was talking for her today.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Are you scared? There was a couple of questions.
If
And
that was
she,
a court of law, you would have heard the attorney say, "Objection, Your Honor, leading. Objection, Your Honor, leading."
exactly. Because a lot of times she's like, well, I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to say that, or that she was always thinking. And Crystal's like, well, tell us, tell us that I word. It's two I words. Wait, the I words. Are you interested or insulted? Oh, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was insulted.
That's what it all comes down to. She was insulted by $100,
You
but
don't
then
need to
give
be. You don't
66
need
of
to
it.
be. You don't need to be coached
Yeah,
about
exactly.
your truth.
I think for myself, but coach me on what to say.
If you're speaking your truth, you don't need to be coached on what to say if there's something to say.
Nope. So I don't know how long they want to keep this shit going, but the only reason I'm keeping on it is because I'm going to stand up for myself, say, no, this is a lie. This is not how it happened. And it would be really, it would not only just be nice of Sasha, but it would show that she has some dignity for her to jump in and say to Crystal, actually, Crystal, no, that's not how it happened. And he was doing a lot for me. And we even talked about getting her a car when she gets down here. And I didn't want to get her a fucking used car. I wanted her to have a new car. But I'm a bad guy. I'm dangerous. She dodged a bullet. No, I dodged a bullet. Because now my money stays in my fucking pocket. It's that simple. Thank you. I'm going to start calling Crystal Geico. Or Geico Crystal. Geico Swirls. There you go. Geico Swirls.
Then she can go back to, I'm doing 8-hour lives. I ain't getting but a fucking dollar. I'm not getting any money. I'm only getting a fucking dollar. I do these 8-9 hour live chats, and all I get is a fucking dollar.
Ungrateful and unappreciative. You know what? I know that Crystal thinks that because I'm white, I grew up in this fancy dancy fucking household in a fancy dancy neighborhood because she kept saying, you don't know nothing about the streets. I'm from the streets, blah, 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 blah. I'm from what they call the hill section in New Haven. The hill. You don't want to let a dog out in the fucking hill by itself. Okay. This is the area around Yale University and Yale New Haven Hospital. You want to let a fucking dog walk by itself in the hill. So don't tell me I don't know what the fucking streets are like. Thank you very much, Miss Brooklyn. Because I've been to New York too. I dated a girl from Brooklyn for 4 fucking years. That was the Dominican, who, by the way, was very fucking racist and hated even the dark-skinned Dominicans in her family. And I was very put off by that. Very put off by that. So.
Ooh, boy, yeah. Yeah, but
Who? Somebody
definitely.
said they're from Connecticut. I feel your pain.
No, he was talking about you're from Connecticut.
Oh, I
That
thought he said he's also
you're
from
not.
Connecticut. Oh,
He said you're not privileged. That he's from Connecticut. He ain't privileged.
no, I grew up poor. I grew up very fucking poor. So what I've got now, I fucking worked for. Hartford is
They're
very grimy.
they're both wrong talking about all these plans in 3 weeks is too much. You can't
I lived in Rock
okay,
Hill or
what's
Rocky Hill.
why do people think there's a time limit for everything?
There is no time
If
limit. There's no time. There's no such thing. Things happen when they happen. Feelings happen when they happen. People can meet and have love at first sight, and some other people take a little while longer. And if in 3 weeks I was feeling a sense of love for her, okay, so be it. So be it. I'm literally telling the girl, do not hang up with me while you're walking home. Even if you've done it 1,000 times, stay on the phone with me. I want to make sure you're safe. Yeah, Rocky Hill. No. In New Haven, around the Yale Hospital area, they call that section the Hill, and it's Congress Avenue, Davenport Avenue, Howard Avenue. Oh, you don't want to let your dog walk alone out there. Mm.
And they weren't really smile, they weren't really necessarily making plans. She was going to the college that she's going to, wherever it is. She was planning on going there before she even met Maestro.
Exactly.
He
So
just
it just
he,
happened that I happened to be in the state she was planning to move to when I messaged her, and I didn't even know it. It
and
wasn't
you
until we had
and
our
you offered
second
to
maybe
help.
conversation
You offered to help.
I offered to help. Yeah. I know where he's from. Yeah. That's not a fucking good neighborhood. Sylvan Avenue. Holy shit, Sylvan Avenue. God damn. Asylum Street. Oh man. Was it fuck. It was the New Year's Eve into New Year's Day of what year was it? Was it 1991 into 92? I can't remember. It was the early 90s. I'm sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV, New Year's Eve night, and there's always a gunfight going on across on the parallel street. Asylum Street is what it was called. Trust me, everybody on that street belonged in a fucking asylum. Perfect name for a street. Gunfight, boom, boom, boom. You always heard it, right? I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. I'm hearing pew, pew, pew. All of a sudden, I hear pop, pew, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh
The fucking
shit.
bullet came through the wall and lodged into the wall behind the TV. If I was standing up at that moment, it would have got me right in the fucking head. It's a good thing I was sitting down on the couch.
Oh
And I
yeah.
peeled my aunt who passed away. Her ex was a New Haven police officer, and I picked with a screwdriver. I picked the bullet out of the wall, and when we called the cops, and he came over because when he heard the address, he's like, "Oh shit, that's my sister-in-law." And she went. He came over, and I said, "Look, Jerry, here's the bullet that went into the fucking wall." Yeah.
Smile. He had to go on a three-way call because she was unable to get the apartment by herself based on the fact that she did not have any rental uh, history.
Yeah. Did somebody ask about that?
She's saying that you were planning because y'all on a three-way call about the apartment. I was just explaining that.
Oh yeah, I had it was myself and her, and I called, but she had just hung up with the same apartment complex after they told her she needs pay stubs from this state. And I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to move from state? People move every day, all the time. If you don't have a job there yet, but you're moving there, how how do they expect you to produce pay stubs? So I called on a three-way call with her, and I asked the lady, how is she supposed to have pay stubs from a state she doesn't live in yet? And the lady's response was, there's two ways to go about it. If you work for yourself and you can produce last year's tax returns or your tax form to show how much you grossed, or if you work for a company that has a place here that you can transfer to, then they'll accept the checks from your original state. That's how they do it. So because she didn't have a job here, I said, all right, then how can we do this? Can I co-sign for her? And the lady said, well, not really a co-sign, but you could be the main person on the lease, and you could put her as a cohabitant. And then when she gets a job and she's able to pay the rent on her own, you can take your name off the lease. She said she wanted to work. She doesn't want to just sit at home all day. She's not married yet. When she's married, she can be a housewife, but she's not married. So why should she sit at home all day doing nothing, bored out of her fucking mind? Go out and work and interact with people. She wants to work. So I didn't argue with that. Why am I going to argue with that? If you don't want to work, be my fucking wife, and then you don't have to work. But who the fuck is Crystal or anybody else to tell a man how he should go about having his relationship? I already had my standards in place before I met Sasha. I wasn't just going to throw money at any fucking woman. That's not how it works here. That's not how Maestro does shit. Oh, no, 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 no. You follow my fucking rule. You want a man to lead the relationship? So what if I gave you $100 for Black Friday? You don't know if the next weekend I would have said, hey, honey, here's $300. Go knock your socks off. You will not know that now. They're worried about Black Friday. They keep crying. He's crying over $100. No, bitch. You keep bringing up the $100, not me.
Because you want a bigger cut.
Exactly. So if I sent Sasha 500, she probably would have given Crystal 200 or 300 and said, get rid of him for me. To which I would say, you just got money for free just for being my girlfriend and me liking you enough to give you some money to go out and spend. It's free money that you didn't have. And you take the free money that you didn't have that you can go spend on yourself, and you give more than half to a total fucking stranger on YouTube. Are you fucking serious right now?
And if she wanted to get rid of you, all she had to do was block the calls like she did before.
Okay, so I did call her as a private caller the first time she blocked me. The second time she blocked me, when I tried to do that again, because I wanted to get to the bottom of what the fuck, like I told you, she would hang up on me at dumb shit, going to a restaurant like a Hooters, telling her I had a crush on Donna Summer. Stupid shit she would block me for, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And she could have blocked you when she was done with you.
She did something to where even when I dialed her number as a blocked caller, I would still go right to her voicemail. So she even blocked the private call. Listen, that's all she had to fucking do. And because I would send her $1 to get her attention on Cash App and say, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get back over here and talk with me. Guess what she did? She blocked me from sending her money on Cash App. If I was to go on there right now and try to send her $500, it will say that Sasha does not want to exchange money with you. Okay, fine. Fuck you then. More money in my wallet. She didn't have to go giving free money to someone else to get rid of the person she was afraid of after laughing on the phone with me all day while she was at work. These people need to go to Bill's Canyon. Yeah, they do need to go to Bill's Canyon. They can't fucking understand what you mean by giving them a fucking 5-cent bag. Send them motherfuckers to Bill's Canyon. And this is how we would talk, and we would laugh our asses off. I guarantee you, Sasha misses something about what we were developing. She has got to be sitting there at some point in time in a 24-hour day and go, damn, I fucking missed that. Because it was fun. It was enjoyable. It kept our spirits up. We had our disagreements, but they were few and far between.
And now she's back to being lonely.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Oh, well. Now she's over there in Bill's Canyon. You can stay there, honey. You stay right there in Bill's Canyon. But now if you listened when I was on that phone call and we were arguing and they were like, well, what did you talk to her about? As soon as I heard that, I'm like, what am I, on a school playground being bullied? Tell me what you were talking to her about. Like, what the fuck? And when I said that, they turned it into, I don't know if you caught it, but I did. They turned it into, he's over there watching cartoons with her. He's a pedophile. I don't even have fucking cable. Cable can suck a dick. I will never pay for cable again. There's nothing I want to watch, not even the fucking news. I don't have cable. I have a smart TV. Anything I want to watch on that TV comes from YouTube or Hulu or Netflix. I don't need fucking cable. I'm not watching fucking cartoons. You fucking idiots. I said we made these little cartoony voices at each other because I used to imitate the voice of Peter Griffin. I can't really do a very good imitation of him. It sucks. So I've made it my own little voice. And the only time I do this is when I feel comfortable with someone. And I felt comfortable with her because she did it back. And I was like, oh, cool. You catch on to my goofy humor. My ex, not so much. Not so much. My ex, not so much. My ex-girlfriend at 21 had more of the maturity level of a 30-year-old. For a young girl, she was really like way ahead of her time. Talk about an old soul. She was an old soul. Mm-hmm. And I have nothing bad to say. I'm not going to badmouth my ex-girlfriend. We just didn't click. She wanted to be a boss bitch, independent woman. Okay, go be a boss bitch, independent woman, but not with me. That's it. Other than that, we probably would have been married by now. Her fucking father loved me. After we sat down at that dinner, we went to an Italian restaurant. He sat down. I'm looking at him like, oh my, now this guy is like my age. And he sat down looking like he was at a funeral, all grumpy and whatnot. We had a conversation. Holy shit. We didn't even give her a chance to get in the conversation. We were talking so much and she wanted to jump in. My ex was literally there like this. And I looked over at her a couple times. She's like she couldn't get into the conversation. We were like, and her dad called his mother on the phone, turned the camera around and said, Ma, I want you to meet my new son-in-law. But I'm scary, and I'm going to kill Sasha, and I'm going to hurt her and hold her hostage. Fuck out of here. Fucking retarded. They're fucking mentally retarded.
She'll look back on this one day.
Yeah,
she'll look back on this one day. But Crystal can't talk about voices, and she does her Becky voice. Oh, bad. Or her welcome to the waiting hour. This is Crystal Swears.
Okay, let's talk about that. A couple of times, the little arguments that me and Sasha got into were about my non-religious beliefs. You all can believe in whatever you want to. I believe in freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of whatever. If you want to believe in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, whatever, that's on you. I don't care. Sasha said today on that live that I was making fun and mocking her religion. No, I didn't mock it. I was raised a Baptist Christian, and so was she. I know the routine. What I said was, a lot of times people praise Jesus out of one side of their mouth and fucking curse people out of the other, and I don't like that shit. If I'm going to do that, I may as well be an atheist, which I am, because I actually took the time to not once, but at least twice, maybe even a third time, read the Bible from cover to cover. All the way through. Not the little juicy parts that people say, read this and read that, and Psalms this and Psalms that. No. Isaiah this, and no. You pick that book up and you start from page 1. And you read everything. And my personal opinion is it's mythology. Because all of the stories, at least throughout the Old Testament, they're all based on previous stories long before the Old Testament was even thought of. So you've got you've got Adam and Eve. You've got a man made of clay, or the dust of the earth, let's say, the dust of the earth. Well, that's very reminiscent of the Jewish fable of the golem. The golem, not Golem from Lord of the Rings, a totally different kind of golem, was a male statue made of clay that the rabbi would breathe the breath of life into. This was a fable. This was a fairy tale. This was a fucking campfire tale. That was thousands of years before the first writings of the Old Testament. Well, why does that seem very reminiscent of what the story of Adam and Eve is? Then you have the flood of Noah. Okay, so we got the flood of Noah now. Now, where did that come from? And I'm not trying to put anybody off of their religion. If you want to believe, you have the right to believe it. I respect you. But here's my take on it. In an era like that, when you have no GPS, you have no telecommunications, you don't have satellites in the sky that can give you an aerial view of what the fucking world looks like, whatever little area you live in, you think that is the world. In other words, if we were to go back in time, right, and the people that lived in those Middle Eastern countries where all of this took place, most of it took place in the Middle East and Eastern Africa, they thought their area was the world. So if a flood happened, they thought the world was flooded. Just like in Brazil, I think it was only last year, because there's a guy who friended me. He's from Brazil. I don't know where this guy came from, but he friended me on Facebook. And every now and again, he sends me messages. And he actually sent me a message once when I was on the phone with Sasha, because she heard the ding from the Facebook Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Who's that? Right? Who's that? Who's that messaging you?" And I said, "It's this fucking guy named Fabio. He's been following me or being my Facebook friend for the last few years. I don't know how he found me, but all he ever does is throw religious stuff at me." Well, anyway, long story short, this guy is in Brazil, and he sent me from his phone images of a flood that they had there. I don't know what region it was in, but it was a very bad flood. It was so flooded, it was taking school buses down the street in the water. They were just floating down the street. I was like, holy shit, dude. So I thought to myself, and I didn't want to get into it with him. Like I said, I don't know how he found me, how he friended me, but he comes at me with all this Bible stuff all the time. And I wanted to say to him so bad, Fabio, you see what's happening there? Imagine that happening back in the ages of primitive mankind. They would have thought the world was flooded. And what would happen when that happens? They would come up with fairy tales. The world is flooded. The world is flooded. Predating the Noah flood, there was the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the exact same kind of story, only there was no big ark. Previous to the Epic of Gilgamesh, there was another flood story that I think came out of Southeast Asia. All these cultures, all these countries and continents that did not know each other existed at the time had a flood story. I'm reading the Bible, I'm like, this is mythology. This is fucking mythology.
I'm going to go to the bathroom, but I can hear you.
Continue. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Continue.
So Sasha was saying that I was mocking the religion. I wasn't mocking it so much as I was giving her an explanation as to why I no longer believe. But she can believe if she wants to. And because I was raised Baptist, I've been to church several times throughout my childhood. And I have no problem stepping into a church and being respectful. If I'm going to go to someone's wedding, it's going to most likely be in a church. If I'm going to go to somebody's funeral, it's going to most likely be in a church. When I get married, it's most likely going to be in a church. Just because I go through the ceremony and the tradition doesn't mean I have to believe in the religious aspect of it. I don't have to. I wasn't mocking her religion. I was saying, I've been there. I've done that. I'm no longer part of it. And she kept bothering me. Will you reconvert? Will you reconvert? Would you convert back? I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't I just be me and you be you and we love each other for who we are? I don't need the belief in a God or any other deity to be able to have morals, natural human instinctive morals. That means that as an atheist, I'm not a liberal leftist. I don't believe in sex is just sex and women should go out and do whatever the fuck they. I do not believe in that. You can do it. You women out there, you can go do whatever you want. But don't wonder why the ramifications of that are that men are not going to desire you for a long-term commitment. There are consequences to everything. And I don't need to be the follower of any religion, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism. I don't need to follow this to have morals. And I'll never tell women what they should or shouldn't do. I'm just going to say, if you're going to go and play around and be a thought and be a 304, expect to get treated like one. Just like Crystal and her minions, because of the amount of money I sent Sasha, tells them that I'm broke. Okay, so if you're a 304, get treated like a 304. If you think I'm broke, you're going to treat me like I'm broke. You see how that works? That's how it works. So to correct Sasha, I never mocked her religion. It was also my religion. If I mock a religion, I will mock them all at the same time evenly. But I'm not mocking them. I just don't believe anymore. You can do whatever you want. I think I told you before, I follow a YouTuber called Real Femme Sapien. She was, I think they have a 25-year age difference. Her husband was 50 and she was 25, and now she's 27, so that makes him 52. She's a Christian, he's an atheist. And they're married happily and expecting a child.
Let me look at the chat real quick because I saw some questions.
I've seen a lot of chats on this one.
Let's see. OVW. He says, does he know that Angela's father did not touch her for several years after giving birth or something? She explained that he came home and locked himself in a room. I don't. I'm giving him a little history on Crystal, but I didn't really go into that part. But wow, anybody else got some questions? We can do this real quick. You have anything else you want to talk about? Your notes or whatever?
I think I'm talked out. As far as right now, I'll just take any questions if you want to ask me. I'm sure everybody wonders how I feel about Sasha now, so I'll just say that here. I'm torn because I think everybody has been in this situation before, to some degree, with anybody. It's being torn between the person that you were getting to know versus the person that they've become in this situation. So the part of me hurts a lot because I'm remembering how we were talking and spending all that time on FaceTime and the phone and being goofy and the Bell's Canyon references and all that. And I miss that.
Yeah.
The other part of me almost wants to have a little bit of hatred towards her because of the fact that she's allowing herself to be brainwashed by a fucking nobody. Crystal is not fresh and fit. Crystal is not Kevin Samuels. Crystal is not fucking Donovan Sharp. Crystal isn't Real Femme Sapien. Crystal doesn't have tens of thousands of followers. Crystal is a fucking nobody with no studio, no setup, a fucking phone pointed at the fucking ceiling, and this is who Sasha's taking advice from.
Because her house is trashy in the background, that's why. Let's see. VW says, I understand his position, but with the full knowledge, does he know? Ooh, shoot. Hold on. Do you understand that you dodged a bullet, basically?
I do understand I dodged a bullet. Sasha was already this way. Possibly, but I think a lot of it comes from being influenced by Crystal because she was listening to Crystal long before I was in her life. Um, yes, I understand I dodged a bullet, but again, it's the facade that I was falling for because it's like how you've heard those stories of people that get scammed on dating sites online. Like somebody from another country will be scamming them, and they'll show them pictures of a beautiful woman and all, but they'll never really see each other. And then they find out it was a guy behind the fucking profile the whole time scamming them for money. It's like one of
Mhm.
that. You fall for the illusion of the moment, like you fall for the illusion that you were buying into. And right now, I look back and it's like the relationship aspect of it being her referring to me as her boyfriend, all this, like all the happy moments, this was all an illusion. Because what was really going on was she was listening to Crystal tell her to go get money from somebody. And I didn't send the right amount of money. And I think right now, any amount of money would not have been the right amount of money. I think if Crystal was someone that Sasha never knew existed, that Sasha herself has good intentions for a relationship and for herself, for her body. She has morals. She's not just going to give herself to anybody, but going down the road with Crystal, she will end up riding the CC and looking back and being remorseful and regretful. That's what's going to happen. So I hurt for the part of Sasha that I was shown, but I have contempt for the side of Sasha I'm seeing now. But she can still get away from it. All she has to do is what a lot of people do. She just listen to what Crystal is saying and go, this is toxic. I'm done with this. Because it is. Sasha's not a toxic person. So I don't understand the attraction to toxicity. I don't understand. I cannot make heads or tails of it.
Who did she come to get it? Who did she come and get advice from? It wasn't her mother,
Right.
wasn't her father, wasn't a sister, wasn't a cousin. It wasn't a real friend out in the real world around her. It was somebody online.
And we hear every day people talking about people online. They're not for real. They don't mean anything that they say, and blah 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 blah. And people get online and they lash out. They roast people. Like this is common knowledge. So why would you confide in someone like that?
And
It's
then she's
common
got
knowledge.
3,000 plus other ones. Like, yeah, girl, we hate them. We hate them. Yeah, get the money. Yeah, girl. Yeah, yeah. They're all bad. Blah, 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 blah. She's got 3,000 other strangers.
That don't know us from a can of paint.
Because even two of them had black boyfriend while sitting here saying black men ain't shit. They had two black boyfriends. I just dumped my Tyrone today.
Well, from what I've been hearing lately, from what's coming out of Crystal's mouth, all men ain't shit. None of us. None of us are any fucking good.
Every time one hurts her on her dating sites, she comes in hating that group, and now she's went through them all. So now they're all hit them all. Because before it was just black men, then a white guy made her mad. I was telling you about the story with the Greek. Then after that, well, there was some guy that made her mad. White guy made her mad. Then became bad. Then got the guy who gave her the NutriBullet. Um, every time she comes back hating a new group, now she's covered all men, so you're all shit now.
I wonder.
And
I
they're
would like to know, but I
they
don't
might
expect
just
an.
go ahead to the local shelter and go ahead and get their cats.
Yeah. I would like to know from Sasha, but I'll never know. She'll never answer me. Do you want love or do you just want a human ATM machine? What do you really want? Because all this love me for me shit. Oh shit. It went dark for a minute. I thought we got disconnected. All this love me for me shit, you
We did
have to
actually.
offer. Hmm?
It it started over actually. The count started over, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I saw a little dropout, but it came right back on. So all this love me for me stuff, you have to also love a man for who he is. Regardless of what he does, what he can do. He might be a millionaire, but if he only gives you $200 to go shopping, shut the fuck up and appreciate it. It's $200 you didn't fucking have. Don't go giving it to some nobody on fucking YouTube who claims to be, I'm all set in my life, but have a bootleg phone.
Two of them.
I rest my case. Sasha, I don't think you want love. You might have thought you wanted it, but once you found this bitch, and I don't know how long you've been following her, all you gotta do is be the grown woman you said you are, think for yourself, listen very carefully, and you will hear the same toxicity that I'm hearing, that she's hearing, that everybody's hearing. It's toxic. It is nothing positive. It's constant negativity over and over and over again, complaining and complaining. It's like, Sasha, be happy. You're not happy listening to this woman. That's it.
It's a shame because with her, I mean, obviously she knew this to some degree what she was doing here, but being as naive as she is, when she goes to college and if something does happen to her, it's gonna be, oh, Crystal was right, and she's just gonna.
Mhm. And I meant to mention this earlier too.
Crystal will probably actually scare her, probably not even going to the HBC.
I thought about this earlier on, and I forgot to mention it when they were doing their live, and she called in, and she had other girls calling in. There's something I noticed about the two other girls that called in before I stopped listening. I got to girl number 2, and then I stopped listening. Both of the other girls that called in were just as feminine, soft spoken, and girly as Sasha. These are impressionable young women that this woman is ruining. I mean, you've got your young girls that are ghetto and ratchet and come in there talking with just the same kind of fucking truck driver voice that Crystal has. But the girls that were calling her, they sounded just like Sasha. Well spoken, soft spoken, very feminine. She's ruining them at a young age. She's corrupting their fucking minds. And how these girls can't take notice, if they're so smart and so independent, then listen closely to the toxicity and get the fuck away from her. I don't understand how they can't see that. Everybody talks about toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity. In this day and age, holding a door open for a woman is toxic fucking masculinity. But this bitch is online all day long spewing nothing but negative vibes, and they don't see the toxicity in it. Unbelievable.
It is.
So that's all I have.
Anybody else with questions? I'll look in the chat here.
I'm doing my cigarettes. I left them outside. Great.
Anybody have any questions for Maestro? Or me, I guess. Forget toxic. She's radioactive. Yeah.
Yep, radioactive.
Waste of space. Yeah, radioactive waste space.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
but
my lighter's freezing out here.
I am glad that you did not go in today's live stream. So
I was so tempted. You have no idea how to. If you didn't sit there and say, no, don't do it, don't do it, man, was I tempted.
I told you she was gonna try and trigger you because I mean, after so long, what happened? They started going back to talking about all men are bad and white men, and I'm gonna get me a country white man, a country brat, and I'm gonna do this. And they went back to the usual. What made you leave? What made you leave her, Camp Angel? Oh wow. Okay. I didn't leave actually. She and Miss Angie what? grant you a date. I swear, get in line. Um, I didn't leave. I didn't leave. She actually blocked me. What happened was she was having those one of those roast of the apes.
Hmm.
If you're all hearing this, I hope you guys chance what? Hold on a second. I'll get you. I hope no more guys give these online girls a chance or in these safe spaces. Um, Crystal was doing one of her roasts where she was inviting Tyrone to come in so they can roast him. And this particular night, she wanted, a guy would call in. She's like, "Well, do you have any friends? Call some of your friends. We want to roast you, motherfucker." Nah, nah, nah. So there happened to be two guys online with her at the moment, and one was like playing the good guy, and one was playing the bad guy. But in listening to them, it sounded like it might have been two guys possibly in the same room, like they were kind of like coaching each other, playing the good guy and the bad guy. And I was like, I typed in, this seems planned. And Crystal took it like I was talking about she planned the call and everything that was going on around it. And in Messenger, I found myself, I can't remember exactly how it went. I have a video about it all. This is 2019, but I find myself blocked. Um, and so I messaged her like, "What's going on?" She was like, you said that something, that this was planned and blah blah." And I'm like, "Crystal, I wasn't talking about you. I was like the guys. I can hear them kind of like I can hear. It sounds to me like they're in the same room talking to each other." And when I said that they sounded like it was planned, somebody else also agreed with me. And she's like, "Well, oh, I misunderstood. Next time, make yourself clear." Okay, all right, fine. Everything next day, she's doing a live. I try and talk to her. I find myself blocked. So I'm like, what's going on? Well, me and Love M cleaning house and this, that, and the other, and this so and so and so. I'm like, you're gonna block me over some stupid shit? Well, you can come on my live and you can explain yourself. I'm like, okay, after work I will. The live is starting. I'm at the gas station. Like, okay, I'll let her know I'm gonna be there in a few minutes. I'm blocked. I'm like, what the hell? I go back to Facebook Messenger. I'm blocked. I'm like, okay, okay. So she wants to hear and talk shit about people. I couldn't get in and say my piece. So I made my first video explaining what was going on, which that's the video she claims that someone saw me um walking around and they saw my hands and I had big hands. And that was, if you guys were around when me and her went at it on her live, when I called in, she was like, they saw you. You were FaceTiming. I said, they were FaceTiming. She was like, yeah. I said, I don't have FaceTime. Both people have to have FaceTime. Well, it was FaceTime. I said, no, I don't have FaceTime. You're a man. You're a man. They saw your hands. You turned around. I did that. That video, I was in the dark talking, and people were like, "You sound like you're crying." I was like, "No, I'm not crying. It's my first video. I was nervous, but I was in the pure dark." But Crystal had to, and that's when she went in. You're training, girl. Shut up. So that's what happened. I said something that she took wrong. When I said it sounded plain, like it was planned, which I was talking about the guys. But even if I said this sounds planned, it's still your show. You plan a show of guys calling in so you can roast. So what are you offended by? But that was it. I said the wrong thing. But at that point, before that, when she started those roasting sessions, because before I was a mod. They come in the chat, you kick them out. Then she got to the point, no, no, don't kick them out, let them come in. Then it's like, kick them out, don't kick them out. And I'm like, what the fuck she wanted to do? So the last 7, 8 months, I was just like, shit, I'm just sit back here and just watch. I don't know what the fuck, she want me to mod or not. So I just sit back and let it happen and watch it. And it was black man bash, black man bash, black man bash, black man bash, black man bash. And I was just like, even some people, can we talk about something else? I'm like, yeah, I agree, but I'm not gonna type it. But
You know, it's funny too because in the beginning of I forget which video it might have been. Oh,
because
I'm
I came
starting to
in,
lose.
I'm sorry, I found Crystal a couple of days before she introduced everybody to Dan. That's when I found Crystal. But go ahead.
Hmm. No, I don't know which video because I'm starting to lose track of them. But there's one video where she starts off with the insults about my physical appearance. I'm ugly. I got wrinkles. She can play connect the dots. Then she goes to, he's an all right looking guy. He ain't bad looking. He's no Brad Pitt, but he's not ugly. Make up your fucking mind. I don't give a shit either way what you think of me.
I think it's possible maybe her and Sasha talked and she was backtracking to maybe kind of smooth things over perhaps, but you didn't bite. So it's like, okay, he's gonna be old again.
I don't give a shit. I think I look perfectly fine for my age. My whole family never looked their ages. Never.
And the whole and what I don't get, she's talking about, that the white man, oh they age and blah 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 blah. White man, he's a wrinkle, but you're preaching for them to go get Brad. Brad's gonna get old, and so will you, Crystal. We all will. I mean, yeah,
Even if you're both the same age, you're gonna get fucking old. Hello.
I guess she thinks she's never ever gonna get old. I ain't got no wrinkles on my face. You got wrinkles everywhere else.
There's men that keep up with themselves. They're in their 60s and 70s. There's a couple that me and Sasha would watch. Well, I think I discovered them because Sasha asked me if I've ever heard of Roadrunner something or other. He's some white guy that's married to a black woman,
Do
and
the gym fitness stuff.
gym fitness stuff.
Like, go ahead with what you were saying. I think I know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, this guy named Roadrunner, I had a hard time finding him at first because when you type in Roadrunner on YouTube, you get the fucking Roadrunner, beep beep, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I finally found him, and I didn't really listen to too much. I saw some of his video, a couple of his videos for like a few minutes each. But then I discovered a couple. I can't remember their name. It's their names are in the YouTube channel, and it's a black woman and a white guy who's much older than her. Now they have a video talking about how they met or something, or something about their age gap. And for some reason, the woman doesn't want to tell her age. She's keeping it a secret, but you could tell she's in her late 20s. She's probably around 30ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her husband is in his 60s. The dude is built like a fucking rock. He's a handsome dude. He's built like a motherfucking rock.
If
And
we're
she
talking
wouldn't.
about the same person, their business is with fitness and health. If we're talking about the same person.
Well, I don't know. I'll send you their channel later on because I can't remember it offhand. And she was saying it was a Q&A. It was one of their videos was a Q&A about their age gap relationship. And one of the things about this couple, or I think she's the one that's in control of the YouTube channel. She's got to do a better editing job. I know, shout out to them, but they really do have to do a better editing job because they have long periods of silence. It's like, cut that shit out and get right to the questions. But she wouldn't say her age. However, she said that they had been married for more than 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
That means they've known each other, maybe let's give them 8 years together. Because you figure maybe they were together for 2 years and then they got married. She said, we've been married for more than 6 years. And he's in his 60s. That puts her probably at around age 27, 28, which means she was around 21, 22, and he was in his 50s. And they're going on a decade together. So all this, go find someone your own age, go fuck yourself. I will date who I want and who wants me. I have a demographic. I'm not going to change it. It is not anyone's business who I end up with. Even if I were to magically end up with Sasha, it's nobody's fucking business but ours. Because in our relationship, it's our business, whether it works or it fails. With my ex-girlfriend, it failed. I told you the reason why. Otherwise, I'd still be with her, and we would never know of each other's existence today.
Mm-hmm.
All she had to do was play her cards right. Don't come at me with that I'm a boss bitch independent woman, or you will be an independent woman. Because independent means just that. You don't depend on anyone. So then don't turn to me for money for your fucking art supplies, which I bought her plenty of, for her business that she wanted to start, which I gave her money to buy the products. Oh yeah, Sasha. Yeah. You hearing that? You hearing that? I don't help my girlfriends. I'm a dusty old broke. Okay. But now, see, Sasha would hold that against me. If Sasha knew that, based on getting mad at me for saying I had a celebrity crush when I was a kid, if she knew what I did for my ex and the fact that I took my ex to the Virgin Islands for her 22nd birthday, oh, that dead in the water. Sasha would forget me like a bad habit. Like a bad fucking habit. It wouldn't even be all this. If she knew that, which she will know now because she's probably going to see this, I don't care. You missed out. My ex got taken to the U.S. Virgin Islands because my ex didn't have a passport. I have a passport. I would have gotten Sasha a passport. Sasha would have gotten Belize or the Bahamas. Let me tell you something, guys. Anyone who has ever been to the Virgin Islands can attest to this. Anyone who has not, you're in for a shocker. It's a fucking shithole. The best part of the Virgin Islands is the beach. All the inner part, it's a shithole. It's ghetto, ghetto, ghetto. We stayed at a really nice fucking hotel. That hotel was 5 fucking stars. You could have even put 6 or 7 stars on that hotel. The fucking room was beautiful. The view, the deck. Oh, it was gorgeous. But go out. It's like, here's a good example. Atlantic City in New Jersey. Atlantic City, where the casinos are, is gorgeous. The boardwalk is gorgeous. Anybody who gets taken to Atlantic City would be impressed at that. But cross the street from the casinos, and you are in, what do you want to call it? Blackistan, whatever the fuck you want to go. I mean, seriously, I was at a movie convention there, and me and some of the other vendors went, and I was not even 21 at the time. I was 19 or 20. And I always had the facial hair since I was like 17, 18 years old. So nobody carded me. And I got in and I'm playing the fucking slot machines and I'm having a good time. And then we were all going, all the vendors that were hanging out together, the 5 of us, we all pitched in to get a hotel room across and down the street. From the boardwalk to literally across the fucking street is night and day. You go from high class to the ghetto just by crossing the street. And we're walking down the street, and that's where all the homeless people are. Yo, spare some change, spare some change. You got $1, you got $1. Because they know people are coming from the fucking casino. And that's exactly how the Virgin Islands, the U.S. side. I don't know about the British side. We never got over there because she doesn't have a passport. But the U.S. side, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't, unless I was with somebody that said, hey, let's go, and I have my passport, or I get her passport, and we go to the U.S., and then we hop over to the British side. Okay, because I heard the British side is actually much better. Mm-hmm. But the U.S. side, I mean, it's like being in a third world country, and it's a fucking U.S. territory. It's a fucking third world country. From the hotel that we were at, which was fucking beautiful, drive down that long street into the center of town, and you really want to have a car that is bulletproof. It's fucking ratchet as hell. But the beach was beautiful. We went what do you call that? Zip lining. We did zip lining. We did snorkeling. And there's something else we fucking did. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Zip lining, snorkeling, something the fuck else. I can't remember. So anyway, I had paid for the whole thing. I called I called a travel agency and they set up everything. They said, "Here's all the things that we can have you do. Do you want to do snorkeling? You swim with the fucking turtles and this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it." I can't fucking swim. I cannot fucking swim. I need like 10 fucking life jackets. I'm over there like, you know, you
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
see
the
me. It was
same.
embarrassing. I don't give
I'm
a
the
fuck.
same.
I've never been able to swim in my entire life. But it was fun. It was 12-foot deep water. When I say crystal clear, like you could look down 12 feet, you could see the bottom of the ocean. Like you could see the bottom. It was beautiful.
Mhm.
And you could see all the strange little fish. Oh man, it was great. And the turtles floating around, coming up to people and looking at them. Oh my God, it was absolutely gorgeous. And the zip lining was really fun. That was really fun. Um,
No heights.
I don't like heights either, but I had to fight my fear. I would never get on a plane. The zip lining, they weren't very, very high. They were, I would say, oh God, I don't even know. I want to take a rough guesstimate 150, 200 feet off the ground. Not very high. But my ex jumped on the thing. It was her turn to go zip lining. And it was her birthday, and she was born in July, so she's a Cancer. So she gets on and she zips down and she yells out, "Cancer season!" And me and the girl, there was a black girl that was the zip liner fucking person. I don't know what they call themselves. They attached everything to us and whatnot. And we turned to each other and she goes, "What did your girl just say?" And I was like, "I'm not sure, but it sounded like she said chips and pizza." And she goes, "That's what I heard, chips and pizza." So when we ended and we got to the other side, the girl came around and she goes, "What the hell did you say when you went out there?" Because I recorded it. And she goes, "I said cancer season." And we both started laughing and we said to her, "We thought you said chips and pizza. Like, what the fuck are you saying chips and pizza for on a zip line?" But she said cancer season, but it sounded like chips and pizza. It was fucking funny. It's hilarious. We had a really good time, and I tell you, it's a shame that some people they change up on you, they switch up, and you see like I don't know, maybe they get too comfortable with you and they think that they can start acting a certain way, but it was that boss bitch mentality. I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't. I literally lost attraction to her. Lost my whole attraction. And she stayed living in the apartment with me until I moved out. She slept on the couch. I slept in the bed. I would have taken the couch, but she literally had the coffee table was her art supply table. So she stayed on the couch. Okay, whatever. But I'm scary. I'm going to chop up all the little girls. Sasha, don't let him know anything about you. He's going to come chop you up. Yeah, okay. Unfucking
Oh,
believable.
it's a kimono. They're asking about my jacket. It's a
So
oh,
I would have done 10 times more for Sasha than I ever did for my ex. I would have done 10 times more. She'll never know now. Then that money stays in my pocket, so okay, call me cheap, call me dusty. I don't give a fuck. I'm being cheap with myself. And I think I said this the other day. I might see things that I want, but I say, you know what? I really don't need that now. I'm building my money up. I'm not going to spend it foolishly just to show off. And I worked for a guy that looked like fucking Shaggy from the 1960s, and he's a multimillionaire. What's that
yeah. He
say?
wants to know about your jacket. He can see the chat too. He said, he said, Angel, what kind of jacket is that? So I thought he was talking to me. He wants to know about your jacket.
Oh, I don't know. I've had it for a couple of years. I don't even remember where I bought it. It might have been an H&M. I don't fucking remember. But it's a little chilly here, and I keep going outside to have cigarettes, so I just leave the damn thing on. I don't smoke in the house. What is that? Bro, everybody what? I hate that you got to keep doing this. Bro, everybody is dusty to dusty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There's Bronzeberg.
Yeah. Everybody is dusty when they don't like you. When they don't like you, you're dusty, you're broke, you're old, you're ugly, you're this, you're that.
Mm-hmm.
You could be all those things, but if they like you, you the shit. You could have a bootleg phone and you the shit. Yeah, it is. It is crazy cold. I feel like I'm in Connecticut again.
Bootleg. Yeah, she should take that money and get her a phone that works.
You know, at least a fucking used iPhone for Christ's sakes, but get an iPhone.
You know what? That just made me think of something because she talked about Black Friday and how she spent about $500 on wigs. And I'm like,
But can't
what?
get a phone
Exactly, but can't get a phone.
because it's all lies. I don't believe anything the woman says. Nothing. Zero.
If you want to use YouTube as making money and you want people to call into your show, you want cash apps, first you're gonna put into your business. You should have got a good phone, which later on you get cash app, and then you can get your hair. I don't even know why she would get that much because she just sits at home. She just sits at home. But I can't wait to see the platinum blonde one. She's gonna look like, well, I don't know. Well, you might remember, and maybe V-Dub might remember Jamie Foxx on, I think it was, what show was that when he played Wanda?
Was that in Living Color?
I think so, with the blonde wig, he was all with his lips.
It was
Yeah,
either in Living Color or what was the other one? Mad TV?
I don't think it's Mad TV,
No,
but
then
yeah,
it might be in
that
Living Color.
that's going to be her with that, her in a platinum blonde wig. Can y'all see that in living color? Yeah, Moonstone said living color. Can you see her platinum blonde?
I can't believe the big deal they made out of me telling Sasha I'd like to see her with her natural hair, to grow her hair out and have her natural hair. The big stink they made. My ex girlfriend has her natural hair, fucking big as I will. I showed you.
Yeah,
That's
well,
natural.
that's
That's the only time I saw her hair that way. And the only reason I was allowed to see her hair big and curly outside of when we were on FaceTime when she'd get out of the shower and it was wet and it was curly, because she flat ironed the fuck out of it and it came down to her fucking ass. The reason why her hair is like that in that picture is because that picture was from the Virgin Islands. She had no choice but to leave it in an afro because we were going in the water.
oh, she's pretty too. She's pretty. Yeah. But the hair situation, it's just a touchy subject. I know that you don't care either way, and that you say that I mean, even though you weren't, rude about saying, you would like to see it natural or whatever the case may be, that's just a touchy subject.
It can be a touchy subject, but why would you attack a person for saying they want to see you in your natural beauty? That's the part I don't understand. If
Because
I
you're telling her how to look and what you can't accept me for how I am.
I showed her pictures of me when I was younger with long hair. Actually, I showed her a picture of me from, well, did I show her that picture? Yes, I did. It was literally from like 6 or 7 years ago. And everybody in, I was still in Connecticut at that time, and I always used to go to this one particular Walgreens for my cigarettes. So much so that the the people that worked at the counter got to know me. As soon as I walked in the door, whoever was working the counter reached back, got a couple of packs of cigarettes, and put them on the counter because they knew that's what I was coming in for. I didn't buy anything else in that fucking place. They were the cheapest ones for cigarettes. And the way my hair was cut and the goatee and everything, they used to call me Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Ah, okay,
I would
yeah.
come in there and they go, "Yo, what up, Daryl?" And I'm like, "The fuck." And then when I cut my hair short like this, it was actually shorter than this. They started calling me Rick. "Yo, what up, Rick?" You don't got the Daryl look no more. And I have a picture of me, and when I posted it on my social media, I said people used to call me Daryl, and a lot of people commented on it and said, "Yeah, you kind of do resemble him." Yeah, it was the way, and I love the way whoever I went to, I never go to the same place twice to get my hair cut. I'm not a person that goes and stays with one person. I'll get in my car and drive around, and I'll just find a fucking hair salon that does unisex, and I'll go in. I never go to barbers. I always go to an actual hair salon because I feel like they have more experience. A barber is like, when I think of the word barber, and I could be wrong because I haven't gone to them in years, but when I think of the word barber, I think of like your standard old fashioned haircut, you know? Um, so I always go to a unisex salon, but I never go to the same person twice. And the lady that I went to cut my hair short, but in such a way that as it grew out, it gave me that look, and I looked like Daryl. And everybody called me Daryl from The Walking Dead. It was cool. And when I showed her that picture, she said, "Oh, I want you to grow your hair out like that again. Will you grow your hair for me?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I will. Sure, I'll do that for you. If you would like to see me with that look." Actually, I think with that look that I had and a
Mm-hmm.
nice button-up shirt and a blazer, I think I look pretty good, if I might say so myself. I think I look pretty good. So for me to say to her, "Well, can I see your natural beauty of your natural hair?" How is that not an even trade-off?
It's that's just a triggering thing. I've never
That's weird to me. That's weird to me. But okay.
I can't really explain it because honestly, I've never really had to deal with it.
Mm.
I've never really had to deal with it. It's, I mean, it's just like why you got a small dick, that kind of thing.
But
It's the triggering thing.
but why use that against someone when it's actually a compliment? Like I'm saying, "Honey, I'd love to see you with your natural hair." It's like if I said,
Because
"Oh,
you're
honey,
trying to
please wear the
because
wigs
you're
and the
trying to
makeup," wouldn't that be the same as me telling you you're ugly? Please cover up
because
the ugliness.
because you're just trying to tell her to change herself, pretty much. Why not?
I guess I don't see it that way.
Why don't you just take her as she is? You know how Crystal
I
likes to.
do take her as she is, but as I am right now, I don't have long hair. But she asked me would I grow it out like that again. I said, "Yeah, if that's what you'd like to see, yes, I'll do it."
It,
How?
it,
Oh my God! How dare you ask me to grow my hair? What the fuck?
it's really black women's feelings like they've been policed. Yeah, it's. I never had to deal with it. I don't know. Which I've always kept her hair natural unless we had to go. We do it.
I never told her that she can't wear wigs. I said I'd like to see you without the wig. I'm gonna like if she was my girlfriend, I'm probably gonna end up seeing her without the wig. When she comes out
Yeah,
of the shower or something, or she has to wash her hair, I'm gonna see her without the wig. It's what's the big fucking deal? You should have taken that as a compliment. Like, why can't anything I ever said to her be like, "Wow, this guy really likes me. He likes me for me." Nope. None of that resonates in her head. None of it resonates in
because
her
she's
head as a
listening.
compliment.
Because she's listening to Crystal Swirls, and you just told her to change her look.
Unbelievable.
That's all.
Oh well. I mean, I don't know. I'm still so torn because,
Oh
like I
boy,
said, part of me.
I'm gonna have to get some mods. Go ahead.
Yeah. The spammers are coming in. Jesus
Yeah, the
Christ.
spammers are coming in. I don't know how to access from. Well, I don't want to do it right now. But go ahead.
Well, like I said, I'm torn because I'm still thinking about the Sasha I was getting to know versus the one I know now, who has so much contempt for me. I can't even fathom the contempt and hatred she has for me. It hurts like a fucking bitch. It hurts really bad.
Yeah.
The fact that she thinks I would ever hurt her, that hurts more than anything.
Um. I. I don't think. Well, she might. You know what? I don't think that she thinks you hurt her. Okay. Being that she's as introverted as she is, and she doesn't have any friends and all this stuff, she's probably fearful for the first time. As much as she wanted to get out on her own, she's
Mhm.
probably fearful of being on her own. And she probably might have spoken to Crystal, girl, I'm gonna be in the city, I don't know anybody, and da 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 da, so on, so on. And then the one person she knows that doesn't, you didn't do enough or whatever. Oh, girl, he gonna do all this to you. She just put the fear in her.
I want to make this very clear for everybody. So the question is, what would happen if we broke up? This is what would happen if we broke up. We break up. That's it. We break up. It doesn't matter if I got her the apartment. It doesn't matter what I've done for her. If we are in a relationship physically in person with each other, like I was with my ex, none of this over the phone shit. We actually met in person and had a relationship. If we break up because we are, I don't know, incompatible, which I don't think that we are, but over time you never know what might happen, then we break up. Whoop-de-doo. Do I like her a lot? Yes, I liked my ex a lot, but look what happened. I had to get away from her. It was toxic. I wasn't going to stick around anymore. I want to be happy. I don't want to just be in a relationship even if it's toxic. I did that shit. When I was younger, I was one of those guys that, oh, I have a hot girlfriend, and even though it's toxic, I'm going to stick around because at least I have a hot girlfriend and my friends are all fucking single. Ha ha. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. So, oh, well, what if she came down there and you're dating and then she broke up with you? Then she breaks up with me. I'm not bothered by being broken up with. I'm bothered by how this went down. She dumped me the day after I gave her money, and we find out through Crystal, with all her bitching and complaining, that I should have sent her more money and she'd still be with me. It's all about the money. It's not about rejection. It's not about being broken up with. It's the reason. She's literally wanting me to purchase Sasha. Sorry, honey, slavery is over. And I wouldn't purchase another human being regardless. She wants me to purchase this girl that she refers to as her daughter. She's not your fucking daughter. She will never be your fucking daughter. You just said you don't know her from a can of paint. So how do you go from I don't know her from a can of paint to she's my daughter? She's not
Because
your daughter.
like everything else, it changes with the wind.
Yep. If Sasha and if she came down here and she moved into the apartment and we were dating and we're going out and we're spending time together and something happened to where we just said, you know what, we're really not good for each other, then fuck it, fine.
Oh, there you go, Bronze. Relationships are transactional.
They are I know, I agree with that. They are transactional, but they're taking this transactional shit to a whole new level. There's a difference between being transactional and literally telling someone in a roundabout kind of way that you have to purchase them. Sasha, you're not a major appliance at fucking Walmart. I'm not purchasing you. I have true, natural, genuine feelings for you. I'm not purchasing you. I
V-Dub
refuse to purchase any woman.
I have a question. What's her V-Dub asked her hold on, ethnicity.
She's black. Ethnic, like as in what kind of, I don't know. She's got a mixture, I guess. Nigerian. She does this really cool. Her Nigerian accent would have you like believing she just got off the plane from Nigeria. It was fucking awesome. She said, "You want me to do my Nigerian accent?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." Oh my God, spot on. Like I told her, I said, "Oh my God," and I'm looking at her on FaceTime as she's speaking in a Nigerian accent. I'm like, "Holy fuck." It sounds so natural. Like I would literally believe you just got off the plane from Nigeria the way you're talking. There was not a single fuck up in the whole thing. If I try to put on some kind of an accent, I'm going to fuck up along the way. Like if I try to put on a British accent, and sometimes people tell me, well, you sound more Australian than Brit. I don't know the difference. They both sound the fucking same to me. I fuck up along the way.
Boogie says, bingo, I knew it, Nigeria.
At least she's not in Nigeria. If she was in Nigeria, oh yeah, I'd be getting scammed. But
I mean, no matter what, um, what you once you did wrong, there was no coming back for you. But I really think Sasha, she probably got scared moving out on her own. Crystal took that fear. Oh, watch out, girl! Watch out! And then she
I
meets
would
you.
never, ever let anything happen to that girl. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. I always tell everyone, I don't even care if you're a fucking guy and you're my friend. When you are with me, what are these notifications? When you are with me and you're in my car and you're in my house and we're together, you are my responsibility. Whatever fucking happens to you, you're my responsibility. Mostly girls, not guys so much. Guys, we can both handle each other. But if you're driving in my car, you're my responsibility if I'm the driver. And I always tell her that. I told her that. You are my responsibility. Anybody tries to do anything to you, it's my responsibility to come to your defense. Even if I get my fucking ass kicked, I'm going to go down with a fight to protect my woman. I do not care. Especially a woman I really care about and that I'm looking for a prospect of marriage.
Looks like you were
My
providing and
eBay is blowing
protecting.
up tonight.
What's blowing up?
My eBay. I sell on eBay.
Let's see. What made you follow Chris? Hold up. What's that? What made you follow Crystal to begin with, Angel? Um, let's see. When I first came on YouTube, I was just watching movies and stuff like that. I came across I don't know how, but I came across another content creator, and I'm not gonna say her name. She had just went out on her first interracial date. And I was like, oh cool, another lady. Let me watch her. Watched her for a while, and somehow, I guess when you start watching, you start getting other suggestions. Crystal pops up. I watched Crystal, and I'm like, okay, well, she's a little bit out there, but I'll see what she's about. I watched her. A couple of days later, she introduces to Dan, and that video, I was like, kind of like, I didn't approve of everything that Dan was saying. Let's just put it that way. I wasn't approving of everything Dan said, but of course, y'all know that that video went viral. Angel be swirling because she ain't meet this Tyrone in person yet. This okay, swirling. Oh boy, that there. Like I said, I can't. You can call me a swirl if you want to. I don't even use those terms. I date whoever I want. I mean, they use that shit here on YouTube. I don't go out in the world. Hey, I'm swirling. I use it. Whatever.
I think that if Sasha got away from listening to Crystal and listening to any type of toxic YouTubers, if she just got away from it and lived her life according to her, she would be an excellent companion. She would be a great girlfriend. She would be an amazing wife. And I just think like I was so excited about the idea of her moving down here and us going around because I'm new to the southern states and I want to go and I want to explore. I want to see. I want to go on road trips. I want to do all kinds of stuff. And I had these prospects with now Sasha in mind because of how we were with the. I mean, come on, 24/7 every fucking day on the phone. Yeah, I'm thinking, wow, this is the one. Like or at least let's find out. Let's find out.
Right.
But the fact that prior to even knowing her, she was already planning on coming down here just made it even better because now we can be in person. Oh, wait, did I already say this? No, I didn't. So let's backtrack a little bit. Speaking about the whole meet in person thing, we were supposed to meet in person in the second week that we knew each other. I was supposed to go up there, and what happened was that was when I planned on going up there for a Saturday into a. I was only going to go up there for Saturday, and I was going to meet her after work, and we were going to go out to dinner and walk around the city that I've never been to. Amazingly, only drove through it, never been to it, and look at the Christmas decorations and all that, because she kept saying, showing me, oh, look at the decorations. I said, oh yeah, no, I don't need to be religious to appreciate the Christmas spirit. I really don't. And I've been an atheist now for almost a decade. I still appreciate Christmas. And I wanted to see those with her, especially in a city I've never been to. So here was the plan. It's a 20-hour drive. I was not going to do this in one shot. I was going to stop along the way at rest stops, take a nap, whatever. And I said, when I get there, and we actually made a joke about it. I said, when I get there, I got to get a hotel room so I could take a shower and put some cologne on and put a few stitches on so I don't stink. And she said, you better do that. And I was like, of course I'm going to do that. So what the plan was I would get there. She was going to be working Saturday up until like 5 or 6 o'clock. And I would be at the hotel sleeping and getting, rested so that I could be up and vibrant, and go out to dinner, hang out for a couple of hours, because she's not on any kind of like, she doesn't have to be home. It's not like she has a curfew. But then at the end of the night, I would either take her home, or if she didn't want me to know where she lived, I would get her an Uber to take her home, and I would start heading back down here home. She said, you're going to do all that for a couple of hours? I said, yeah. She goes, why? I said, because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. Even to spend a couple of hours just to go to dinner and meet in person and walk around the city before everything closes, because you get off at 6. It's going into the Christmas season, so some places might be open late. We go out to dinner. We have a good time. We talk in person. And I go home. You go home. I go home. I would have made a 40-hour drive, 20 hours there, 20 hours back, to spend even 3 hours with her, because she was worth it, in my opinion. Nothing is enough. She wants to love me for me. Well, that was me showing you I love you for you. But it's not enough, because Crystal Swirls says that's not enough. That he gets in. Well, at the time I was going to use that car, that he gets in the car and drives a 2-day fucking drive. That means I would have had to have left on Thursday and started my trek and gone to a rest stop and slept for a couple of hours and gone back on the road, etc., and the same thing on the way back. To see her for maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 hours tops, walking around the city and going out to dinner, and then she goes home and I go home. But nothing is enough for me to prove myself to her, because she's been listening to this woman all this time telling her nothing is enough. I think anyone else would have appreciated a man doing that.
Right.
Because we're such bad people.
Moonstone, you had a question. Did you said something about me and Dan making it up or something? Could you repeat the question? Maybe I can scroll back. I don't know. Can I scroll back? Let me see if I can scroll back. Yeah, I can scroll back. Hold on. Where is that question at? If you feel like sharing what made you and Dan disagree with each other before making up. What made us disagree? Back when I was co-hosting, He was at some point trying to talk to the host and the co-host at the same time. We found out, called him out on it, went through that whole thing, video, went through all that. Time passed. He apologized. For a while, I still didn't bother with him, and then eventually it's like, yeah, whatever. That's it. Not a huge story.
Well, I'll tell
He
you,
did
I'm
apologize
pretty
a lot to a lot of us. Yeah, he did apologize a lot. Go ahead. Go ahead, Maestro.
I'm pretty tapped out from the whole thing now. I mean, what more can be said? I offer Sasha if she wants to get in touch with me, if she wants to discuss this, if she wants to talk, if she wants to make amends. If she doesn't, that's fine. But I still say, again, because of the other girls that called in that sounded just as sweet and feminine and girly as she. And who the fuck doesn't want that?
That's fine, B Dub. I'm not. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Those
Maestro.
those women, all of those women, need to get away from the toxicity that is on her channel. Or Crystal needs to stop being toxic and start putting out some positive content. Because I didn't want to come at anybody with any type of hatred, but she pushed my fucking buttons.
That's what
Pushed them.
she needed the world to see that she was right about men, and so she pushed the button. She just like what makes a woman that mad, you want to get on her nerves. We can do the same thing, and she did that for you because she needed to prove that you were this crazy white guy. Because she's had Tyrone on her live streams to with him. She needed a white guy to do that too with,
I
and
just I
that was
just want everyone to take away from this here. I'm scary, I'm dangerous, I'm all these fucking things. But if I sent her more money on Black Friday, she might still be with me. Just remember that. I'm scary and dangerous and I'm going to kill her and chop her up, but if I had sent her more money for Black Friday, she might still be with me. Make it make sense. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out. I can't believe that this is so fucking important to people. Why? It should have never gotten to this level. But it got here.
well, um, they'll probably try and trigger you again
Of
once
course.
she gets wind of this. Again, do not go over there because they tried and tried a good 20, 30 minutes and you didn't come around. They went on back to their talking about their normal stuff, and that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
I can explain why I'm here. What are you talking about, Boogie? Has he seen the court records? I don't know. I did tell him about him if he wanted to go look. I don't know if he did. Did you
I
see them?
don't I honestly I don't care about anybody. I don't care about all that. It's irrelevant to me. I don't give a shit.
He's just concerned with now, basically.
I'm concerned with now. I'm concerned with the fact that I have a woman telling me that the woman I was talking to was afraid of me, but she only was afraid of me the day after Black Friday when I didn't send her enough money.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mhm.
Because you had said something about you wanted her to stay on the phone with you to make sure she got home safely, and she was telling you to hold on, hold on, hold on. When
Oh
she
no
got
no 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 don't I don't mean to like confuse you there. Um I was always telling her to stay on the phone with me when she walked home. But it was that night that I told her, call me when you're off the bus because the
the Wi-Fi signal, because buses and trains have Wi-Fi now, but they're fucking horrible. And
Yeah.
every time she was on the bus with me, there was always some kind of like, I don't know if you ever noticed on iPhone, well, you said you don't FaceTime, but on iPhone, sometimes when the signal is bad, the screen goes gray and you see a big triangle with an exclamation point in it. And it kind of cuts off. It was just going in and out. So I said, listen, get on the bus, call me when you get off the bus. And then she never called me for like the next hour, hour and a half, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, the point I was getting to is when she didn't call you, when she finally did call you, is that when she broke up with you?
No. When she called me, as I said, she was starting to throw a bunch of stuff in bags and saying she has to get the fuck out of here. She wants to move out. She doesn't want to be here anymore, this and that. And I said, well, we're getting your apartment, so calm down. You got until January. I mean, she was just starting a new job, seasonal.
Okay. I was just thinking that her not talking to you was when she was actually talking to Crystal to tell you to keep.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. When she hung up with
Okay.
me to get on the bus, they had their conversation.
Okay.
And they were probably talking for a very long period of time. So we went from happy and giggly to absolutely downright fucking miserable when she finally called me a few hours later. And she said to me, she goes, I have something to talk to you about, but we'll talk tomorrow. I'm like, oh, you're going to tell me now. Because as soon as I heard that, I knew what the fuck to expect. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born 5 seconds ago. I know exactly what a woman means when she says, I got to talk to you, but I'll tell you later, or I got to talk to you, I'll talk to you tomorrow. You're not going to keep me sleeping overnight wondering what the fuck you got to talk to me about. You're going to talk to me now. So I finally got it out of her, and she said, we're not compatible. How the fuck are we not compatible? That is not an answer.
Hey, if you can remember when she told you that she will talk to you tomorrow, she had to consult with her cult leader. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
What did she say? How was her tone? Was she like, we'll talk about it tomorrow, or no, we'll talk about it tomorrow?
Yeah, it was more about no, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, the little girly voice that she had was gone. She was in a mood. Like
I
a
was
mood.
just wondering why she's trying to put it on. Was she second guessing herself? But since she was like, no, we'll talk about it tomorrow, maybe she already made up her mind.
I don't know. I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I waited until the next day. Tomorrow back then would have been Sunday, because this was Saturday. It was the day after I keep saying Good Friday. Black Friday. It's the day after Black Friday, so it would have been Sunday that she wanted to hit me with the bomb. And I told her, no, tell me now. She goes, I don't want to talk about it now. And she starts like throwing things in bags and looking around the room to grab stuff to pack up. And I'm like, chill. And then she mentioned her driving test. And I said, honey, I got you on that. I got you on that. Don't worry about it. I got that. And then when she heard that, she kind of did one of those, thought about it for a second, and then just went back to rummaging around her room and being kind of standoffish with me.
Yeah, that was that moment, that pause, that was Sasha.
Yes, that was Sasha.
And then Crystal was over here. We discussed this already.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. And she went back to doing what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when she told me we're incompatible, I'm like, that's not a reason. That's not an answer.
That's Crystal's.
It's not like me and my ex who were together for 2 years, living together in the same house, in the same apartment, seeing each other every single fucking day, doing things together every day, realizing we're not compatible. This is every day, all day on the phone, being playful and funny and goofy. I mean, you're talking from 1 o'clock. What was her? Was it 12 to 6 or 1 to 5? I forget her shift that day. But in all that time, on the phone in her earpods with me, making fun of the customers. She kept going, hello, making sure I was still there. Mm-hmm. And then she would tell customers, oh, no, I'm not talking to you. Because they thought that she was talking to them, because they couldn't. She had her hair covering the earpods so that she didn't get caught. From that from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde in the matter of a couple of hours.
It could have been possible. They were probably, well, let's see what he gives you on Black Friday. And then you didn't give enough. All right, it's time to cut him loose. Because y'all been talking for a while. They're probably thinking, well, what holidays? Well, maybe he can take you Black Friday shopping. We'll see what he gives you, and we'll make our decision from there.
Sasha stopped looking at men as walking ATM machines. And I'll repeat this again. Single women keep women single.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fact. She hates me. She fucking hates me. And I didn't do anything to deserve that. I did nothing.
No, you didn't.
I mean, knowing somebody in that period of time, and yes, I developed feelings, but I have my own standards. And no one's going to tell me or hand me an instruction manual on how I have to treat a woman from day one. I'm not going to impress you with my money. I want our personalities to impress each other. That's the way it should be.
Bella says, I just got done listening to Crystal's latest live, and excuse me, and Maestro is problematic as well. Why is that, Bella?
I'm problematic because I went off on Crystal.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm a Latino. I'm Italiano. We yell.
We
Get
try to
over
warn
it.
him not to call.
The only problematic I am is I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's my problem. Aside from that, I'm perfectly fucking sane and normal. And I'm a little sick and tired of people who can literally hear Crystal poking the bear, getting the reaction she wants, and then they say, "Oh yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy."
And that's the thing. That is the part that, because before you went over there, I was like, okay, you kept going and kept going, and they kept poking, and you kept, and I was just like, every time he's going over there, he just making himself look worse. I was like, why does he keep going over there? This is not looking good. This is not looking good.
Someone with a rational mind, if I was hearing that, I would have thought that guy needs to stop talking to these people, because I would have heard how they were trying to work around everything the person was saying. But
That was us. We saw it.
to mock me and call me names because I yelled at them on the phone. First of all, I got two women yelling at me at the same time, talking that say, "I shut the fuck up and let me talk. I'm not just gonna sit there and be your fucking puppet. You don't own me and you don't control me. You want to control Sasha and all the other girls that follow you? Go ahead. You're the ventriloquist with them, not with me. You're the marionette with them, not with me."
Bella says Sasha said you were harassing her, got jealous, and cursed her out. Yeah, and Crystal Swirl said a whole lot of shit too.
Got jealous of her of what? Cursed her out of what? I never cursed her out. Just because I may have raised my voice at her and said, "Stop talking over me," but now I know where she gets it from. She gets it from Crystal. Because Crystal will ask you a question, you go to answer it, and she starts talking while you're answering, so that nobody can hear the answer. And the people that watch her can fucking see this, but they'll still take her side.
And that's the whole point. There's no need to even answer another question like that unless you want to.
No.
No, it wasn't a good look. They made him look like a crazy wild man, but I don't think. Bella, watch the beginning of this. He explained all that. If you want to really get into it, he explained all. She's asking about you yelling at her and not answering the phone. He explained that in the beginning of the video.
The time when she wasn't answering the phone was the night that she was on the phone with Crystal. That was the night that she got home from work and told me she got to talk to me about something, which was the breakup, because I'm not stupid.
She
And she
said,
wanted to
"Oh."
wait until the next day, and I said, no, tell me now.
Bella said, "Oh, okay." So she'll listen to it. We don't have to keep rehashing it. It's
The only time where she didn't answer her phone, that I was questioning why she wasn't answering her phone, was the night she was talking to Crystal. The other night when she was, I think she was just trying to test me about going out on a date, which was the quickest fucking date you could ever imagine. And she said it was just a friend, but it was like, it was so fast. Nobody goes on any dinner date with a friend that quickly. She
it
had
was to piss
blocked
you
me.
off.
Yeah, she
It was to
blocked
piss you
me.
off.
Yeah, she wanted to piss me off. She blocked me so I couldn't contact her. So I sent her a Cash App with $1 just to be able to send her a message saying good luck on your date. I didn't yell and scream, why didn't you answer your phone? I didn't answer the phone because I was blocked. When I call a phone and you're blocked, you go directly, the phone doesn't even ring. As soon as you press and dial the number and the little time stamp comes up and you're in voicemail, you know you're blocked. I know everybody knows how to use an iPhone or pretty much any phone. If you've got an iPhone and the other person has an iPhone and you're iMessaging, when your message goes through as a green text bubble, two things have happened. Number one, they've blocked you, or number two, they're out of range. And she was not out of range. She blocked me. I didn't yell at her, why didn't you answer your phone? The night she talked to Crystal, I said, why weren't you answering your phone? And then she blocked me so I couldn't keep calling or texting. Because remember this, she's a pretty girl walking home at night in a big city. I don't give a fuck if she's done it 1,000 times. Now that she's in my life, I want her to be safe. But no one's going to take that into consideration. I'm just a crazy guy that was calling her too much. Why? Because I fucking care about her and I care about her safety? Okay, fine. Fuck it. All of you walk home at night in the fucking pitch dark in a big
Bella,
city.
Bella said, "Oh, she was playing games. She conveniently left that out."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bella must have came in late because you had already went through all this earlier in this.
No, but Crystal's got her fucking minions convinced that I'm blowing up Sasha's phone. If I'm blowing up her phone, it's because I give a fuck about her and I want to know where she is. You got on that fucking bus? Did you get off that bus? And are you walking home? Are you okay? That was the time she was talking to Crystal, getting brainwashed, being told that the $100 wasn't enough money. And I guarantee you, that's probably when she sent the $66 Cash App. And Crystal probably said, oh, you want me to get rid of them? Send me something. Or I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised as much as y'all don't give me no money. Y'all give me a fucking dollar. I do all these lines. Y'all give me a fucking dollar. I wouldn't be surprised if she did say, well, give me some money to help you. I wouldn't be surprised.
But that right there, to know that the person that you're watching, that you support, would say, "Oh, you can give me some fucking dollar, motherfucker," blah blah blah, and cursing people out for what little they can offer, should resonate in Sasha's mind to say, "This bitch is toxic."
Yep. And if I was her walking alone in a city like that, even if I was mad at you for the moment, I would have stayed on the phone with you just like got home, and then I would have cursed you out and said, "Leave me alone."
Exactly. At least let me make sure you got home safe. But now we know she was on the phone with Crystal. I didn't know she was on the phone with Crystal. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But then I thought, well, she was probably on. She did keep mentioning she wanted to talk to Crystal. But come on, for how long? That whole hour and a half, almost 2 hours of not hearing from her from the time she got on the bus to the time she was when she finally texted me, she was home. And I know how long it takes her to get home because she's had me on FaceTime both ways, to and from work, every fucking night. So I got worried. Oh my God, I'm such a bad person. I worried about my woman. Holy shit. Men don't do that. We don't worry about women. No.
What did he say? Something about, what is that? If I was him, I'd go on TikTok and expose Crystal, but he don't have to. I'ma do it.
I don't fuck with TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I don't fucking bother with that. TikTok will rot your fucking brain cells.
You should hear her. She's on there literally, ooh, baby, ooh, daddy, ooh, girl, look at these 18-year-olds. I pay a motherfucker say with Big Mama for $1,000 for a week. She literally said that. $18,000 paying to fuck boys.
This is really fucking pathetic now. I'm tapped out. I have nothing more to say about this. I'm tapped the fuck out, man.
An old stranger just expanding her network.
What is that?
Brian. Yeah, she's on there, her hair all wild, titties up in the air. Yes, I gotta find my white daddy out here. I know you're out here. God, I hate I sound like her. I gotta stop smoking.
It all comes down to the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it comes down to. Nothing would have been enough. But I love how they say she never wanted you, but maybe if you sent her a little more money, she'd still be with you. What the fuck?
I think that was I think that was her caller. Maybe it might have been DJ. You sent her 500. She probably still with she. If you sent her 500, she'd still be with you. I mean, they were putting a price
Crystal
on her.
said it too. Crystal was talking about making impressions and how more money would have made an impression. An impression on who? A woman that you're claiming never wanted me at all? No part of that woman in her heart and mind ever wanted to really be with me? Bullshit. Bullshit.
It was all about the money. Like that just made everything beautiful.
Mm.
You're still the same age.
Exactly.
You-
Giving
every-
her $500 isn't going to knock 10 years off my age.
Yeah. Yeah, Krista was hoping to benefit off of her.
And what I don't understand is this whole, oh, we're going to make you famous. Everybody's, oh, I'm going to make you famous. You're going to make you famous. Make me famous on what?
She always says that, just like she think her little terms that she come up with, like hypergamy over everything. She thinks she's gonna make things. I made that up. I want credit. It's gonna be famous. It's gonna be popular. It's gonna be trending. I made that up. That's all. I guess because she thought that one viral video of her and Dan. I guess she's thinking she's gonna make everybody else famous.
There is nothing that happened to me that hasn't happened to millions of men every fucking day. I got finessed, but I didn't get finessed for much. Thankfully. Now, if Sasha broke away from this woman, me not even knowing that this woman was a bug in her ear the whole time, Sasha would have made out pretty fucking good. Because I believed in her. I truly believed in her. Because I didn't know who Crystal was until the last week.
You need to find what video, Boogie. What video you talking about? He watched the Manosphere. He know what happened. Okay.
Oh, and when I mentioned Kevin Samuels, oh my God, Sasha went fucking nuts. That was the night that I was on the couch. So that was the second phone call because she referred to him as Kitty something or other instead of Kevin Samuels. She said Kitten something or other, and
Hitting
I
heel,
put it together. I'm like, Kevin Samuels,
hitting heels.
Kitten heels, yeah. And I'm like, Kevin Samuels, and I said, yeah, I've listened to him. I've watched a few of his lives. I don't agree with everything the man said, but I get what he was saying. I don't agree with telling people, I don't agree with telling women to accept high value men that are going to have side chicks. I don't agree with that. And I've gone over this 1,000 times. It does not matter how much money I make, whether I'm a thousandaire or a millionaire. I am not going to cheat on a woman I marry. I'm not going to cheat on you if I'm not going to cheat on a woman, period. But let's only talk about marriage. Because when it comes to marriage, when you get divorced, the woman is 9 times out of 10 going to take everything from you. Why would I give her a reason to do that by having side chicks? If I'm marrying you, I am giving myself over to you. I got no business being with these other chicks. Now, do I understand the natural desire and the way human nature works that men want abundance? Yes, I understand that. I get it. But I'm not going to put myself through the fucking cleaners in divorce court because I couldn't keep my dick in my pants for my wife. I'm not going to be that guy. Let those guys be that guy. Let those guys end up paying alimony and child support and giving up half of everything they've ever fucking worked for. I'm not going to be that guy. If I end up getting a divorce from someone, it's going to be our own personal, something other than me cheating.
She even says now, oh, when she's talking bad about men and you marry women, oh, don't think that your man is just because you married that he ain't cheating on you. He's always looking down the street, looking at some other woman. Da, 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 da. Your man, he is cheating on you. She's telling married women their husbands are cheating too.
She cannot speak for everyone. There are 7 billion people on this planet. If we were to split that in half, that's 350 billion men, 350 billion women. You can't speak for every single fucking one of them. There are people who are very religious that don't do that shit. There are people that aren't, that just have their own personal morals. I told you about the virgin woman that I met when I was in my 30s. She was 23. There was another virgin that I met that was above the age of 20, and she was not religious. She wasn't exactly atheist, but she wasn't practicing. She had
Mm-hmm.
her own personal morals. I'm not going to just sleep with anyone. That's her own personal morals.
Yeah, but they're talking about her on TikTok. She sounds so damn thirsty. She sounds like a damn pick me.
I was I was confused by the whole pick me thing. Damn. And I was thinking, because I wasn't sure what the whole pick me thing was. I thought being a pick me would be better than a single woman. So I would say better to be a pick me than a forever single skip me. But now I'm not so
Or
sure, and
pass
people are
me.
actually using the pick me in a bad connotation. So I don't know. I don't know. You don't want to get picked. You don't want to be the one that a guy picks. Remember, women are the gatekeepers to sex. Men are the gatekeepers to the relationship. And I said this to Sasha. I said, I am offering you a relationship. And then she started referring to me as a boyfriend on more than one occasion. More than just that one time where she said the black guy was looking at her and she said, better not look at me. And she used the term naker.
Mm-hmm. You know where that came from?
I know it's somebody else on YouTube.
It's well, it was Kobe Bryant's death, and there was a female sports caster, And when she kind of combined the N word with Laker.
Oh, I didn't know that's where it came from.
Yeah, she kind
I
of
thought it was a
she kind
YouTuber
of
that said it.
she fumbled the word, and yeah, and it just took on a whole new
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Hmm. And of course, they actually celebrated his death.
Yep.
Crystal, her camp,
I
his
saw
death.
one where Crystal celebrated the death of Sidney Poitier.
I guess Sidney Poitier, yep, and Kevin Samuels as well. Which she ended with that video. She looking terrible as hell, sitting outside looking. I mean, crazy, and ended up saying that for some reason she ended up saying he saved her life. She said Kevin Samuels saved my life. Yup. She was out there drinking her little drink. I said he saved my life. I got it. I got it. I forgot why she said that, but she said he saved her life. I was like,
If you
damn.
don't
Now the
if
black
you
man
don't
saved your
like
life.
someone, if you don't like someone, fine. But when that person passes away, the idea of celebrating someone's death while referring to yourself as a Christian, it don't mesh.
Well,
It doesn't mesh.
I don't even think she qualified herself as a Christian.
Well, Sasha does. Sasha qualifies herself as a Christian. You don't celebrate someone's death like that. You can say, oh, I didn't care for him, but you know what? Rest in peace. It's
But
that simple.
she wants to go along with the gang. She needs kind of some outside friends. She needs some in real life RIL friends.
I was really looking forward to. I am a social person, but I'm in the land of. I'm a stranger in a strange land down here in the South. I don't know shit. I don't
Keep
know
talking
anybody. I don't
through
have any
that.
friends here. Go ahead. You want me to keep talking?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know anybody down here. And I was really when I was looking forward to when Sasha came down here. Like I said, we're gonna go travel around. We could have made friends. I'm a very social person, and I know that she's quite social too. She might be introverted now, but her personality would attract anyone. It would attract females to be her friends. We could have made a whole fucking bunch of friends down here. I was going to take her out. We were going to go everywhere. There's so many things I would like to I would like to say, like examples, but I really don't want to give away where anybody is. But there are some historic places that I have not visited yet since I've been here. Also, what I've always wanted to do, and I told her this, and I don't remember if she said she's too familiar with it, but I've always wanted to go to Mardi Gras. So I figured I'm close enough. Let's go to Mardi Gras for February. You're going to be here in January. We're going to go in February to Mardi Gras. We're going to have a great fucking time. Let's go check it out and see how it is. And I want to go to those historic areas in well, Sasha claims to like horror stuff. I like horror. I love the ghost story shit, even though I get scared out of my fucking wits. Even though I don't believe in anything, it's still from childhood. Like, for example, as an atheist that doesn't believe in any of this supernatural shit, there is one movie that I cannot watch by myself. I will have every light in this house on just to go to the bathroom. And that is The Shining. I cannot watch that fucking movie by myself. No fucking way. I will not do it. I love that movie, but I will not watch it by myself. Matter of fact, the last time I watched it was like 5 years ago or so with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad doesn't give a shit. But there was all this controversy and what do you say? What's that word? Conspiracy theories behind the movie. All these little subliminal messages. So there's a documentary on YouTube about it, and I showed my mom the documentary, and then showed my mother the movie, and I said, "Look, You see right there, right there. Because I was falling for all the conspiracy theories, right? And my mother's just like rolling her fucking eyes, like, what the fuck? She goes, well, are you ever gonna fucking grow up? And I'm like, not with this movie. With this movie right here, I will forever be. I don't even know how old I was when I saw it. I don't know, 12, 13, I don't fucking know. But yeah, that movie still frightens the fuck out of me, even though I don't believe in any of that shit anymore. It's one of those things that because it scared the shit out of me as a kid, I can't grow out of it. So I won't watch it alone. But so because I like that kind of stuff, the supernatural, and just it's not even so much the supernatural that I believe in, it's the idea that it's part of the history. It's historic, especially here, especially in Louisiana. So I told her, we're going to Mardi Gras and we're going to go and see also all the historic haunted places. But I do believe that, and it's sad to say, I think, what was it, Hurricane Katrina, that I think knocked out a majority of all the nice area, like knocked out all the touristic stuff, which is unfortunate. But there's other historic haunted places around the area, and I said, let's go check those out, because I haven't been around anywhere since I've been here. I work from home. I don't really do much, and I would prefer, no matter what anybody says, I prefer to do things like that within a relationship, not by myself. I could easily just, when I get my car back, hop in my fucking car and just go and do it myself. But why make that memory alone? I'd rather make that memory with somebody. No ex-girlfriend of mine and I went and did that shit. I was looking forward to doing it with Sasha. I was looking forward to doing a lot of things with her. But what does Crystal tell her? He just wants to pop your cherry. He's going to fuck you and leave you. Jesus fucking Christ. Why would I can't speak for other men. I know other men out there do this. They take a woman's virginity and they bounce. You stupid motherfucker. That woman is all yours. She has no baggage. She doesn't come with an instruction manual. She's all yours. Why the fuck would you do that? Because then when you end up with a woman that's been ran through, that's a lot of times the reasons for breakups and divorces. Because they say, and it was a study, and yes, this information comes from the manosphere, but a lot of these guys, they look things up before they open their mouths. They don't just open their mouths. They actually look at studies. And all these universities do studies on shit. And they say at about 5 partners or more, a woman starts to lose the ability to pair bond with someone in a steady relationship. That's a fucking study. That's not an opinion. That's not an I feel like. That's a study. And people always want proof in studies, so there you go. There's a study. 5 or more partners, and they have a hard time pair bonding. Probably one of the reasons why my ex had a hard time pair bonding. She really did have a hard time pair bonding with me. Because even the most horrible boyfriend, most horrible relationship a woman can ever have, if it's in that 1 to 2 to 3 relationship period, like the second or third guy she slept with, no matter how horrible, there will always be some kind of an emotional attachment to it. But when you get to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men that you slept with, now it's harder to pair bond, and you have the baggage. My ex-girlfriend thought that I was going to be just like her ex in the beginning. It was the same shit with Sasha, talking about, oh, you're going to cheat on me, this, that. It was all the same shit. No, the fuck I'm not. And I picked up my life and I moved 1,400 fucking miles for a woman that called my bluff and said, you're not going to move down here for me. Well, I did. I fucking did. I don't know what fucking more. What the fuck more does anybody want? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's all about the money. It's all about the money with Sasha because Sasha is corrupted by Crystal. But if Sasha broke away from Crystal, Sasha would probably stop and consider, wow, this guy really does like me. I probably shouldn't fuck this up. I'm genuine. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm fucking genuine. When I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I can't do it, I'm going to let you know I can't do it. Whatever.
Well, let's see. It is
I
Yeah,
don't even
my
have to.
bedtime. I gotta get up and work in the
Yeah,
morning.
you gotta go. You gotta go. We've exhausted this. We've beaten the dead horse to the point where it's just fucking dog food now.
I give it 7 minutes. Anything, anybody, anything. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Everybody else pretty much gone to bed too.
Yeah,
Love
we're
and
down to 5 viewers, I guess.
love and jail don't mix. Okay. Anybody have any last questions before I end this? Well, I hope that I'm gonna need Maestro to sit with me so we can speak on some manosphere topics. And Moonstone says, "What?"
What are the things that a woman should look for in a man? Well, I think the first thing, I get that you want a man that's going to be able to provide, protect, and secure. So you do want a guy that's got his shit together financially, but you can't just like him for that because that is a disaster. If you don't truly like each other, there is no reason to be there. There really isn't.
Yep.
And, when I talk about how Sasha and I were on the phone 24/7 for 3 weeks, at least from my side of it, I was coming to like her for her. I thought she liked me the same way because who in their right mind is going to think that someone that you meet on a dating website is only doing it for a friend to talk to? That wasn't even a thought in my mind. It's a site for people to go on dates to meet their potential partner. It's not a let's be friends website. So, on my side of it, the way I saw it was we clicked and we were developing something. And I honestly thought she felt the same way. Because just like I had every right and reason to say, hey, I got shit to do. Can I call you back later? She could have done the same thing. She did not have to keep me on the phone in her pocket, in her earpods throughout her whole work shift on multiple occasions. But she did. So all this, I kept her on the phone. No, no, no. Back up, honey. Back the fuck up. That's her job. I don't want her getting in trouble, but she said, I'm going to take you to work with me. I said, are you sure? Are you going to get in trouble for that? I'm going to put my ear pods up under my hair and cover it so nobody knows I'm on the phone. Okay. But I kept her on the phone. Yeah, okay. Nice try, honey, but no. Nice try, Crystal. I did not keep Sasha on the phone. Sasha chose to be on the fucking phone with me. At any time, Sasha could have said, you know what, I got to go to work now. I'll call you when I'm out. Or I'll call you on my break. Okay. These people are treating this situation as if I've never been in a fucking relationship in my life. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm worn the fuck out from it. Like I just hatched out of an egg, fully grown, 5 days ago, and fell head over heels for the first woman I saw, Sasha. Shut the fuck up. Like enough with that shit.
Okay. Last quick questions. From this experience, what can you tell other men? What's your definition of a high value man?
Well, from this experience, what I can tell other men is just be very fucking careful. No matter where you meet women, it doesn't matter if they're on a dating app, on a dating
High
site.
value woman.
It doesn't matter if they're in the fucking frozen food aisle at a grocery store. You don't know what's in their mind. You don't know what they do in their private life and who they listen to. If I lived in Sasha's city and I happened to see her and flirt with her and we started talking, I still would have never known the kind of crap she listens to on YouTube and would have never known what I was in for. So you just got to be very fucking careful. Um, What's the difference? What was the other question?
Your definition of a high value man or a high value woman.
A high value man, I guess, in the minds of most men in the manosphere, would be your money value. But I think it's more than that. You can have a millionaire who's a fucking asshole, a piece of living shit that nobody likes. There's plenty of rich men that are lonely as fuck because they're a bunch of fucking miserable bastards. Nobody likes them. So your value is everything, in my personal opinion. It's get your money up so that you can afford a decent living, but have some kind of content of character. If you have no content of character, what the fuck good are you? You're a walking ATM machine. That's all you are. And a high value woman, in my opinion, based on what I was seeing in Sasha before I knew all this shit, Sasha is, in my opinion, the idea of a high value woman. She's got morals. At least I'm going back to prior to knowing about Crystal. She's got morals and dignity and respects herself. She also dresses very modestly, like a lady, not like a fucking thought. She doesn't go out wearing little booty shorts or boy shorts or any of that shit. She dresses nicely. She carries herself like a lady. She walks like a lady. She talks like a lady. She tries very hard not to curse. I have a mouth like a truck driver. Occasionally she dropped the F-bomb and she would always apologize for it. Oh, and every time she swore, when she used the F word, I would count them. I'd say, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. I think I got up to 24 or 25 times that she dropped an F-bomb. And she goes, oh my God, you're still counting on me. She goes, I didn't say it that many times. I said, honey, you said it that many times. Because you don't say it often enough that I've been able to keep track. And every time she said it, I said, that's 8, that's 9. It was, looking back on the conversations we had, it fucking hurts. Do you see how happy I am talking about our conversations?
Mm-hmm.
It fucking hurts, man. So a high value woman, to me, is just a woman who takes care of herself and is not a thought, is not a 304, is respectful, doesn't have the mouth of a truck driver. I mean, if you want to drop F-bombs in a private conversation with me, but if I take you out somewhere nice, or if you're going to meet my relatives or my friends, yeah, present yourself. And I told her, I said, when you meet my mother and stepfather, my mom's not going to give a fuck how many F-bombs. We are an Italian family. Well, my stepfather is actually Middle Eastern. But my mother drops F-bombs all the fucking time. All the fucking time. She doesn't care if you do. But I know, based on what I've learned from talking to Sasha, that she wouldn't do that. She would be respectful. Sasha is the kind of woman that you can bring to meet your parents, your family, your friends, and not be embarrassed. Because she's not going to be all like ratchet ghetto and fuck this, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. But I told her, I said, my mother's going to drop some F-bombs. If you do, it's not going to be a big deal. My mother's probably not even going to fucking take notice of it. But in any case, yeah, so that's my idea of a high value woman. Just someone who takes care of herself. Just keep this in mind. This is a very true statement in the manosphere. We don't care about your money. We, as men, do not care about a woman's money. If you want to have a career because you have an interest in something, fine. But I don't give a shit about your money. In other words, I'm not asking your money to take care of me. So whether you make $20,000 a year or $100,000 a year, I don't give a shit. I'm still going to be the one to pay for everything we go and do. You got your money? Well, with your money, you can buy me a birthday gift from time to time. You can buy me a Christmas gift, but I'm not asking you to pay for anything. I'm doing that. You can buy your stuff, because I know I'm going to get hell for this, because somebody's going to say, oh, no, you should buy her everything. Hey, listen, I'm not going to be up her ass 24 fucking 7. Not any wife. I'm not going to be up there. I'm going to be off doing something. She's going to be off doing something. She might be out one day and walking by a store and going, oh, I like that, and go in there and buy it with her own money. And I'm not going to know the wiser because I'm going to be off doing my thing. But we don't care about your money. So it does not matter to us if you're a career woman or if you just want to have a little business. Sasha wanted to start a business. She told me what she wanted to do, and I was ready and willing, and I told her, let me know what you need, the products you need, and I'll buy them for you. And we'll start to, make some kind of a campaign on us. We'll use social media to get the word out about your stuff. But yet I'm a big, scary, horrible person, and she dodged a bullet. Okay, fine, then she dodged a bullet. I'm not going to argue with that anymore. She dodged a bullet.
Well, hopefully with her degree from the HBCU, she can get her business going. I still can't believe that right there.
Makes no sense to me. Makes
my
no
God.
sense to me at all. And she better be fucking careful because apparently that school, that college has a lot of crazy fucking parties. And if she's scared of me, she better be more scared of being on that campus.
Well, we'll just wait for Crystal to hear about it, and Crystal will scare her straight.
Yep.
In her own way.
This was I'm kind of glad to get a lot of this off my chest. This was a good live, I think. And I don't know. I really don't know what to do from here. As far as I'm concerned, the horse is dead.
Just
the
try
horse
and
is
move
fucking
on.
dead. She is more than welcome to contact me any fucking time. I don't know what's going to happen. I might meet somebody else. If I do and she calls me, I'll just say, sorry. But nobody knows. I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball. If a month from now she wants to call me and talk to me and say, hey, can we just have a conversation? Yes, we can. I'm here.
Well, just go in with eyes wide open this time.
She wants me, or she wants a man to lead the relationship. Any man that catches wind of what she listens to, if that man says to you, stop listening to this or we're done, let the man lead the relationship and stop listening to that shit. Just like you told me, don't go to that restaurant anymore. It's a respect thing. It's not even about controlling you. It's respect. If somebody hears that and they hear the toxicity in it and they say, honey, I don't like that shit. Please stop listening to that. It's not leading you down the wrong road. If she says, no, fuck you, I'm going to listen, then that dude, whoever he is, should kick fucking rocks. And of course, if that happens, it'll give fodder to the whole fucking, he wasn't worth it anyway, blah, 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 blah. You can't say I want a man to lead the relationship and don't allow the man to lead the relationship. You can't do that. So.
All right. Well, another Let's Talk About It comes to an end.
Yes.
And I got to get up in a few hours and go to work.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
All right. It's been great.
I don't miss those days. But all right. We'll see what happens, and hopefully this shit comes to a fucking screeching halt because it's done to death. But you have yourself a good night, and the 8 people in the chat that's still watching, have a good night, and talk to you soon, I guess. Oh, and be careful now when you close out of here. Don't delete the video by accident. Careful what you click on because this is on your side. I don't know I've never done this shit. One day when I do it on my side, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I had the hardest time getting this uploaded last time, but yeah. It probably won't get done
till tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
But I always thought that they just automatically are on YouTube in replay. I don't know how it works.
Well, if I was live by myself, yes. But with this live together thing, for some reason I have to go on my PC, go to the studio. Well, maybe I can go to the studio on my phone. Anyway.
All right. All right. Look forward to it. Thank you very much for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Maestro.
Bye-bye.
They never get your name right, Maestro. I'm like, what
is it? Okay, it's Maestro It's Italiano. It is not maestro. It is not español. It is maestro. And the word maestro is typically used in music. The conductor of an orchestra is the maestro. And for example, it means master, which they're going to run with that one, but it's the music master, okay? I happen to like a lot of the movies that I like are not American made. I like a lot of European films, and there's an Italian film director. He's still alive. It's crazy. He's very old, but he's still alive. His name is Dario Argento, and his movies, you have to have patience for them because sometimes they don't make a lot of sense. But he is regarded as the Italian master of horror, so they call him Dario Argento, il maestro dell'era. So yeah, that's where I got the name Maestro from. I got the name Maestro by being a fan of that and seeing him and being referred to as the Italian master of horror. So when I saw the word Maestro, I was like, oh, that's a cool name to use as an artistic name. So I took it.
I just found it.
It's not fucking Espanol. It's Italiano. Okay, get it right, Crystal.
I just found it funny that they were pronouncing it wrong, and I was just like,
pronouncing it wrong, saying that it was Spanish, saying that it means teacher. Maybe the Spanish use it as the word teacher, but in Italian, it is the conductor of an orchestra. It is the maestro. Okay, maestro, tap, tap, tap.
I know it. I
know
it's the maestro.
Yeah.
It's just like I hear people say they're going to go shopping in California. They're going to go to Rodeo Drive. It's spelled rodeo, but it's rodeo.
Rodeo, yeah. Oh, it's just like in New York City. This drives me fucking insane. So I'm from Connecticut. And I'm familiar with the name Houston, like Houston, Texas, and Whitney, Houston. However, in New York City, there is a street that they call Houston. And I got in a cab and I said, can you take me to Houston Street, please? And the cab driver said, what? And I said, Houston Street. I got to go to such and such Houston Street. He goes, you mean Houston? I said, no, I mean Houston. That's the way it's spelled. That's the way I'm saying it. He goes, no, it's pronounced Houston. I said, well, Whitney says Houston and Texas says Houston, so it's Houston. But no, you better say Houston or they'll know you're not a fucking New Yorker. It's ridiculous.
But they were like, Maestro.
Somebody knows Houston Street. Yep.
And they were saying Maestro, and I'm thinking, well, she's the girlfriend. Am I pronouncing it wrong?
No, it's Maestro.
Okay. Well,
right.
Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, everybody. I've got
Thank you, Angel.
Sleep. And just good luck. And if you have to respond to anything else, we can come back here or do it on your videos. Don't go over there.
I'm not going over there.
Okay. All right. Wish you luck. Good night, everybody.
Good night. How do I click out of here now? How did we do this last time? How do I click out of here? I guess I just clicked the X, right?
Right.
All right.
Good night.
Oh, good night.